Before we get started on this episode of Real Nerds Podcast, remember you can connect to the Real Nerds in many ways. You can follow us on Twitter at Real Nerds. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can also call us 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2016 and beyond. I am Ryan, and we are in a full house. I'm with Brad.
Hi. Oh, no.
And James.
Hey, I'm James.
I'm James. You had an opportunity just to, totally make fun.
Yeah, well, it's too easy. It's too easy with James.
Oh, come on.
And we also have ladies first. Kendall, hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing great. It was my birthday yesterday.
Was it?
Yep.
Funny coincidence is also Henry's birthday.
Oh my god,
You
hey.
both turned 19?
I don't know. You are like...
It wasn't really my birthday yesterday.
No.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Henry.
Thank you.
What was the number one movie 19 years ago? 1996. Independence Day? Boo. Boo.
I've looked it up multiple times. I can never
Am I the only one who thinks Independence Day is the most overrated disaster movie ever?
No, I
Yep.
also believe that.
No, you are the only person who believes that.
Oh, me and Steve. We agree.
No.
And I don't like that Will Smith can't say Earth.
That he doesn't. That's not in the movie. He
says
doesn't,
Earth.
He doesn't say Earth.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
And he asks the president, he says, let me ask you a question. It's just...
No, he doesn't. That doesn't happen.
I mean, the Alamo knows about that, right?
No, we know nothing about that.
That was my subtle Rocky joke.
Oh, the time is now, the time is here. Now's the time for a bite of cheer. A tasty light where the price is right. Well, look here, you'll dig this sight. The moment's handy for a piece of candy. Just name your brand, they're all so grand. Hey, what do you think of a nice cool drink? Or a big box filled with a popcorn thrill?
Sorry about that intermission. It's a good thing let me think of a really hard thing for James to find to insert there.
You ass.
Insert the, what?
Sorry, I was looking up the number one movie 19 years ago.
Into the damn mic.
I was looking up...
We've been doing this for 5 years. Are you kidding me? I expected from them. They're new.
I usually feel like my voice isn't that important.
We have been doing it for 5 years, and he still doesn't figure out what mic to turn on. So.
Hey.
But yeah, I actually looked up the number one movie. Are we still using the old stuff, or are we starting over?
No, yeah, we're using
Okay.
all of it. Nobody listens. Who cares?
So, the number one movie 19 years ago was Star Trek First Contact, so that was awesome.
Nice.
There you go.
Cool. Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, use that information
Yeah.
I'm
for
sorry
something.
that my age makes you feel old.
I saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
And I was old enough to know how cool it was.
Yeah.
At the Green Mountain one, too. That's where I saw it.
Another one that makes
you
you feel really self-conscious about their age is when I tell them that I was in elementary school when the first Iron Man came out.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember 6th grade going to see Iron Man opening day.
And The Dark Knight.
Yeah, and Dark Knight. Didn't see that one. Parents weren't allowed with that one.
Wow.
Anyways, on Real Nerds Podcast, every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw 2 movies, Creed and The Good Dinosaur. Stay tuned to the end of the show where we'll spoil the hell out of those movies. We also talk about what movies are coming out on Blu-ray, and I keep on losing my train of thought. Movie news, what we've been watching, box office stats, and also we talk about what's playing at our favorite theater, the Alamo. But instead of hearing my annoying voice, I'm going to defer to Steve over here, who works there and programs for the Alamo. So this is what's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse next week.
I'm Peter Bogdanovich, and I have a few friends here, or not here, but that I knew, who would like to tell you something.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Hi, I'm Mark Hamill.
Hi, I'm Elijah Wood.
This is Seth Rogen.
I'm Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
I'm Ron Starr. Welcome to the Alamo Drafthouse.
turn off your cell phone.
Don't talk.
Don't text.
Don't build a birdhouse. Don't be a Foley artist.
Quit asking your girlfriend what she had on her salad.
Okay, is it your living room?
You talk or text during this film, I will punch you.
You can find out who they are and then go cut their tongue out.
Have a good watch.
Bye.
All right, I've said what you want me to say. Will you release me now?
This is really good because usually we're not responsible for this segment.
Yes.
You know, now if you say anything we don't like, we can actually blame literally you.
What do you mean you're not responsible for this segment? That's a loaded question. Do you really want to know what's going on at the Alamo this week? Yeah. Not a whole lot. We're starting to sort of get into our holiday programming to highlight a few things coming up. We have The Fantastic World of Santa-sploitation, which is a new American Genre Film Archive, stuff like, I think like the Magical Christmas Tree.
Yeah.
I'm probably screwing up the name, but stuff like that. It's basically a compilation of weirdo Santa stuff from the 60s and 70s.
Does Silent Night, Deadly Night make an appearance?
We thought about it.
But it's not really in the holiday spirit.
You mean in that program or just in our month
Overall.
of program overall?
Yeah.
We did it last year. It didn't do so hot.
No.
So we're gonna give it a break and then
Nice.
do it again next year. We have Dennis Muren coming in for Equinox. Totally not holiday related, but he's like won like 9 or 10 Oscars for his effects work on Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and other films of that nature. Indiana Jones.
Cool.
So he's coming in. So I'm really excited about that. And of course the typical Elf movie parties and Christmas Vacation movie parties.
Is Elf still really popular? It seems like it's more popular with the younger set. Than...
No, it's like stupid popular.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like people, any kind of like imagery of Elf on screen or in the lobby, people just like do backflips.
Really?
And yeah, it's kind of bizarre. Yeah, it's going to live on as one of those movies, I think, even 20, 30 years from now, where people are just going to be like, I remember when I saw Elf 17 times over the course of
Do you like Elf?
Do I like Elf? I think it has its place, you know? I think it... Like,
What a pussy hand,
No, I think it has its place. I mean, I obviously liked it more when, you know, it first came out and I was a little bit younger, but...
I don't remember anything from it. I just remember it being there.
It's funny, and I think it's a great character, and it's... It has some really interesting moments in it that I think make it a little bit better than like a crappy holiday movie, but you know, it's no I don't know.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life or something, you know. But I mean, even though I guarantee, again, 20 years from now, people are going to be like, It's a Wonderful Life of our generation.
Of the 2000s.
Of the 2000s.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
like, just like when I was in high school, every like December, that would be the
So like 3 years ago.
Well, 1 year ago. Like every single like
Punk kids.
I know, I'm sorry. In December, that'd be like the go-to for like, we're out of curriculum. Like, we'll put on a movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my generation's like, that's our Christmas movie. So
See, my Christmas movie is Die Hard. Does anybody else love Die Hard as a Christmas movie?
We're showing Die Hard 2.
I'm very excited. I saw the trailer for
Sorry,
that. I'm really
Die Hard
excited,
also, not Die Hard 2.
I was going to say, it's actually Die Harder. The greatest movie title of all time. But you notice they don't even like call it that anymore if you pick up the Blu-ray or something, it just says Die Hard 2.
Yeah. Well, it's because I know nobody's going to watch that one. If you had a full collection of all of them, nobody watches the
That
second
one's still fun.
Yeah, but nobody watches it.
No, I watched it 2 years ago.
No. Yeah, exactly.
It's part of the Die Hard collection. You know which one I won't watch again?
Live Free or Die Hard?
Good Day.
Good Day
No,
to
A
Die
Good
Hard.
Day, yeah. Live Free is fun.
Yeah, Live Free's fun.
All right.
A Good Day is horrible.
It's still sitting in my collection. Not been, like, taken out. Because it came with the other 4. That's why I have it.
Right. Uh-huh. Exactly. It is the specter of Daniel Craig Bond movies to Die Hard films.
Spectre's way better than fucking
Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace, too. So, anyways, I was at Tradesmart getting that. I was like, oh, cool, the Die Hard Legacy Collection. Oh, it comes with the 5th one. I guess I'll get it.
It's a complete legacy.
And when I bought it, I was like, can you just take that disc out? And they said no. And a lot of people were complaining online because I guess that version of the collection only comes with the movie-only version of that film,
really?
with no special features. Like, does it really matter?
Yeah, like
still sitting in there. And I can only imagine, since I got it used, that someone traded it in because they went to that movie first. And like, the rest of this sucks.
yeah.
John McClane.
I like the one with Zeus. That's my favorite one.
Hey, Steve, how'd the
Brad.
Mads are back go?
It was great.
Yeah?
It was actually really cool.
I wish I got to see it.
Yeah, it was fun. They were actually super nice and super kind and gracious and had a really good time, and we're kind of blown away because something that was surprising me was that this was one of the first theaters that they've ever performed in. They usually perform in like bars or restaurants or like multi-purpose kind of facilities, like never an actual theater that's set up for, presentations and actual movie watching. So they were kind of blown away about that, and which was surprising me. I was like, I feel like what movie theater wouldn't want you guys to come in live riff, an Ed Wood movie? It was great. And so Frank was way more mellow than I thought he was going to be. Like he was like almost like barely a pulse mellow, which was he's still a super nice guy, but
he's still alive.
Yeah, I had to keep kind of poking him a little bit just to make sure he was there. But super nice, and he's like almost like a film historian. Like his film knowledge is incredible. So we had Ileana Douglas the same night, and so she's also a super up on her film knowledge. So they got to talk, which was cool. Kind of a nice thing for him. And then Trace was like the other way. He was like way more animated and like kind of jokey than I thought he would be. I thought he'd be a little more on the serious side for some reason. But yeah, they had a great time, and now we're trying to get him to do the whole Alamo circuit, which would be cool.
Wow.
So hopefully we get him back soon because they were great. So
cool.
Why didn't you go, Brad?
I was busy.
And
also the workshop was like $75.
The workshop was very expensive. Not our choice.
Yeah.
I actually suggested, I was like, you guys should maybe lower this a little bit, but they didn't want to, which is
basically
fine.
giving industry knowledge out, so it's like
some of the people in there were like, they'd been waiting to do this their entire life. They're like, oh man, if one day I get to learn how to riff with the guys who wrote the show, that'd be amazing. So like $75 for achieving one of your lifelong dreams. I mean, I feel like, again, we don't want to put a price on that kind of stuff, but
there's a price.
But there's a price on that kind of stuff.
It's out of my range. But
Yeah.
if I could just go $75, I
my
would've
dreams
done it.
aren't that expensive.
See, mine was eating in Cinderella's castle, and I've done that.
You've done that.
See?
You did it.
So I didn't care about the price of the roasted chicken wherever I ate there. I don't even remember. I just
How much was it? Like $23 for a leg of chicken?
No, it's actually kind of expensive because at Walt Disney World, you actually have to make reservations, obviously, because it's in the actual Magic Kingdom and it's
Right.
in the actual castle. And I remember I went with an ex, and it was for my birthday. And when we were up there, Cinderella was going around and wishing all the kids happy birthday. And I was like, it's my birthday too. and so I was sitting there, and someone must have overheard one of the Mouseketeers or something, and they brought me a cake, and they said, have a happy birthday. And she threw glitter on me. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that for the world, except for the person who was with me.
Good choice.
But it's beautiful. But never give up on your dreams.
That's right, even if it's expensive.
Because I think it was like $75. It's like a 5-course meal. But
That's great.
It's good.
That's great.
But I got to overlook the Magic Kingdom during fireworks.
That's beautiful.
See? Don't ever give up on your dreams. $75? Nothing. Chump change.
You can just erase that one girl you were with and
Yep.
put it in
And
the
it's,
soul.
I don't even remember what she looks like because I was too smitten with Cinderella. No, the chick who was playing Cinderella I remember being very, very attractive, which I had imagined so.
And that turned out to be Lori, and you had a son
Yeah,
together.
that's where I met her. Was at Cinderella's castle or a Halloween party. Either or.
We have an interesting stuff we've been watching. If you guys want to,
Cool, let's
some
start-
kind of
yeah.
things to talk about.
that. Ooh, good.
Oh, we got movie side.
This is my boomstick.
I love being a turtle.
You're getting your wishes, so sit down.
Great Scott! The line must be drawn here.
Damn you all to hell!
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Now you're getting nasty.
So Kendall and I just started watching the first season of How to Get Away with Murder, this train wreck of a show on ABC.
Really?
It's a fucking disaster. Yeah.
Was it already canceled, or is that one that
is it already canceled?
No, it's already canceled because it's winning a ton of awards.
Is it really?
Yeah, it just won Best Actress.
Oh,
it was a big deal because she's
it's
the first.
like it's really
black woman to
popular.
win.
It's so
oh,
popular.
that's right.
I think it's
one
like
of
their
the
highest rated.
It's like the
show,
Grey's
but-
Anatomy lady.
Yeah,
That's
Shonda
right,
Rhimes.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah.
new Shonda Rhimes
She's
show.
doing the most.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like kind of like gay soft porn.
A
like,
lot.
like very like TV soft, but there's a lot of it because there's this one gay character who just like hooks up with like every dude. He's just like, yo, you have something I might need. I'm gonna suck your dick. So it's just kind of the way he.
Do they
he
say
goes
that
forward.
on ABC?
What channel
Almost.
is this on?
That would make me
ABC.
They
happy.
almost do.
And then we were talking about how there's this one part where he records like a phone conversation between this one guy he just had sex with, and he's like, he just did something to my ass that made my eyes water, and they keep playing that one
They
clip.
play it like 5 times in the episode. Like 5 different points
Yeah.
to different people.
It's just like, why do they keep bringing up this one specific part? And then, but like, if they would have cut out all of the weird romantic stuff and any kind of weird emotional stuff, it could actually be kind of like a good crime show, like kind of a interesting, noirish kind of show.
Mm-hmm. It's weird because Viola Davis is the main character, and she's supposed to be like crazy and tough, but then she's like the main character, so they like show her crying and her cheating on her husband and all this stuff. That I'm like, I wish she was just mean.
If she was just
and
mean.
not like I wish I didn't know she was a person with problems.
So do you hate watch it, or is it good enough to watch?
I can't tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because there's
I
some
love
parts that are
it.
like really compelling. Yeah, no, there's some stuff that's really compelling and really interesting to watch, and then the other 70% of it is just just this mishmash of terrible script writing and acting and just crazy plot devices that they just try to throw a wrench into. Like, it's just a typical ABC show. Like, I mean, if you watched even Grey's Anatomy, it was just like, you know, someone would walk into a hospital with a gun to their head and just be like, what are we going to do now? You know, it's just that every episode.
So ABC has a trope, because I know CBS's is, we're wisecracking crime solvers.
Yeah.
And so what ABC's is...
I think it's just like taking drama to like the nth degree.
Gotcha.
They just have to take everything and just push it to the extreme limits of just like, this is the craziest hospital show. This is the craziest show about being a law student. It's the most dramatic, insane thing that this can ever exist inside this little bubble.
It's about lawyers. I was gonna ask you, like, what is like?
Oh yeah,
is
sorry,
it,
we didn't even talk about what the
is
show's
it like,
about.
Is it like Burn Notice, but every week, like, they kill somebody? This is how you get away with
That's
the murder
another thing
this
that doesn't make
week.
sense.
She's a teacher. She's a law teacher, and then she picks 4 students that are like interns for her.
But basically just do
firm?
all
I don't know.
her
She's the-
dirty work.
I don't even know if it's a firm. She works out of her home. Like, that's where they do all their research.
She's a crazy woman.
And it has the like Veronica Mars setup where there's like a crime that they're solving each episode, but then one big long thing that you're also like worrying about through the whole season.
Sure.
So it's
like
got,
Jessica
like,
Jones?
Actually, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one soon.
But it's I think she's a lawyer. But then
So
she
does somebody
picks-
die every week?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Man.
They're mostly like murder cases. She's like a
Yeah.
crazy, like high profile lawyer.
So she's House. It's House.
It
but
is House.
It's pretty much House.
It's so weird.
It's Murder House.
It's the same thing because she has the 4 students that work with her, but there's a whole classroom full of students. Every time she asks a question, she will only pick one of them. So they're not even getting an education. I don't get it.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
I forget. Are one of you guys like Gilmore Girls fans?
I think it's Brad.
I need to talk.
Brad. Because Liza
I'm
Wiles
just
in
kidding.
it. Liza Wiles in it. She's fantastic.
He's joking. I'm
Is
not.
she the-
Self-proclaimed.
is she the
Does
short
anyone
girl?
here
I keep
love
talking to you,
Gilmore
Brad, like you are a
Girls?
Gilmore Girls fan.
I'll pretend to be one.
So she plays Paris on Gilmore Girls, which was one of the best Gilmore Girls characters. You know more about this. You should be talking about
I
this.
love Gilmore
The only thing I
Girls.
know
Is
is
that
there's a
when Lauren
long-running
Graham-
joke of how fast they talk.
Yeah, it's like Sorkin-y.
It's
Yeah.
kind of Sorkin.
That's the comparison.
I'm in.
Whoa, they just sold James. Does it take place in space?
That would be amazing.
And if Matthew McConaughey shows
Maybe
up...
Do they have to, do they
It's
have to
coming back.
overcome anything?
Just like
Do they talk
being
about
tired.
NASA at all?
Yeah, they're always drinking
they're
coffee.
always drinking coffee.
Who killed the space program? Is that what we? Is that what
It was
me.
Rory
Is that what
Gilmore.
we say?
It was
Oh.
Rory Gilmore. It was what's her name? Alexis Bledel.
Alexis Bledel.
That show's
Oh,
weird.
her.
She has
Oh,
a
okay.
baby
If you had
voice.
said her, I
Yeah,
would've
she has like
had
a
it.
sexy baby voice. She's like, I just got to Yale school. I don't know how to learn or anything. That's Rory Gilmore.
I thought you just read from a script from a Gilmore Girls episode.
It's like Gilmore Girls porn parody. I don't know how to learn or anything. This Amy Sherman Palladino. What else has everyone been watching?
I continued my stroll through 2015 with movies I haven't seen. Yesterday I went to see Creed, but I misread the time. God, I'm so stupid sometimes. And I was like, fuck. So on the way back, I was like, I'll just stop by Best Buy because I had like $25 in gift certificates. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend any money on Black Friday. I'll rob them blind. So I went there and I got Get Hard, which was like $7. And it's the Will.
Is that this year?
Yeah,
That was this year. Yeah.
it's the Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I watched that.
Yeah, it's all right.
You know you have to eventually send your kid to college, right?
With Best Buy gift certificates. Take this in, son. They'll take these at admissions. No, do you know those expire in like a month?
They have expiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I got the email.
That's how they get you, man.
Well, I got them.
Did you only spend $5? No.
No, I got them because I got that and True Detective, and both of them together was like $18. I did not pay a dime. Except for my laptop I bought, but besides that, I did not pay a dime.
Just gonna pick up a nice Get Hard Blu-ray, a nice this movie Blu-ray,
Yep.
and then a laptop. Why not?
Yeah.
That's not a laptop. Why not?
Yeah, it's part of the laptop bundle that was a month later. But there's some really funny parts in it.
Yeah, I liked it when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is they're both given a platform to show what they can do. And Will Ferrell's funny because he's always like the stupid man-child guy.
Yeah.
And there's this funny part where he's learning how to talk trash, and it's really funny. And then there's this part where Kevin Hart talks really fast and plays 3 different characters, but it's not funny at all. And you're just like, I can live without Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never thought he was that funny. But his new movie, they had, I don't know if you saw a trailer for it with The Rock.
Ride Along 2.
Oh, the Rock one, yeah.
Yeah, the Rock one looks funny because The Rock is funny.
Yeah.
I got a trailer for Ride Along 2.
I did too.
There was one clever joke in there. There was one joke in there where I was like, okay.
Which one?
We were assaulted by the Ride Along
No,
trailer.
I will say that if the joke where he finds out the guy's wearing Kevlar and then uses him as a shield, if that were in a better movie, is that in MacGruber?
Yeah.
Oh well.
So it's in a better movie.
The actual finale of the movie too. They lifted that from.
Probably.
Yeah.
It looks like that movie looks like her.
Like how the movie actually ends.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was funny. I mean, there's worse movies out there. And I can always see Will Ferrell talk shit to nobody and be bad at it. I don't know.
T.I. playing a criminal in a movie.
Yeah. No, it was fun. And, Alison Brie's in it, and you see her butt, if that helps you, James.
I'm in. I'll check it out.
Cool.
I was into that.
Nice. I also watched a movie called American Mary, which is a body modification movie.
What?
The only reason I got it because I thought it was a slasher film
like
because
piercings, right?
Yeah.
It's
the documentary about body
It's about a little girl named Mary whose mom takes her to get her first piercing and how important it is to her. And is that what?
You're not funny. No, it's not. Just kidding. It's directed by the Soska sisters, and their See No Evil 2 was actually pretty cool. Because the first See No Evil was meh, but when they made their See No Evil, it actually elevated because they're better directors.
Wait, isn't that the... Oh, no, I'm thinking Deliver Us From Evil. Okay. Yeah. They all run together.
So, anyways, it's their first movie besides the one that you can't get. So it's like, all right, I'll watch it. And the cover is Catherine Isabelle, who's a really cool actress from Ginger Snatch. You might know her from Freddy vs. Jason.
Ginger Snatch?
Yeah, Ginger Snatch.
That is not what he said, Brad.
That is what I heard him say.
Yeah, I know that's what you heard him say.
See what I have to deal with. These immature
I have
guys.
the headphones on. That's not what he said.
Anyways, she plays this medical student who is the best in her class, but she's, always late, or she's doing other things. I don't know. And the cover's really misleading because on it she has this apron and a bone saw. And
sorry.
Yeah, and I was hoping that it would be like a slasher film, and it really is just her modifying people. And then she goes to this doctor's party, and he rapes her. So she decides she's going to modify him. I don't know, it's stupid.
By modify, you mean it's like human centipede shit.
Yeah, like
I put an arm on your head.
Not like
kind of, but it's like like slicing their tongue so it splits in two, or
I've seen it.
Yeah, so I mean,
seen it, not interested.
So it's
in the trailer for Evil Dead. I've seen that.
Yeah. So I was like, meh.
Okay.
Whatever, it exists. I also watched a movie called Dark Angel, which is also known as I Come in Peace, which stars Dolph Lundgren, and it was shot in 1990, but it has like every single 80s action cliche in it. So in it, Dolph Lundgren plays a cop who doesn't play by the rules. And this alien comes down, and he always says, I come in peace, but he kills people. And he shoots a CD out of his like gauntlet that chops people's throats, that follows people around. And then, so the opening of the movie is Dolph Lundgren is outside of this club, and his partner's on the inside trying to make a drug deal and, get these guys. But while he's in there waiting, the liquor store next door gets robbed. So Dolph Lundgren's like, I'm a cop. I have to save innocent people. So he walks in the liquor store and does this like totally badass roundhouse kick and knocks the one dude out, then shoots the other dude in the head. And then he's like, I got to get back to my partner, but his partner was killed. And so so afterwards, they're doing the crime scene and his boss comes in and he says, you know what? You need to take a vacation. He says, no, I need to find my partner's murder. No, you either take a vacation or I give you a permanent one. And so he has to take a vacation until the FBI shows up randomly at the crime scene. And then they make him join the FBI's, like, pencil pusher, who does everything by the book, guys. He does everything by the book. So what happens when he teams up with the one cop who doesn't do things by the book?
Hilarity ensues.
And it's actually a pretty cool movie. Like, you find out that the alien just wants to steal heroin because it gives him, like, power, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, the alien can't just make heroin?
No, dude.
Like, poor people are making heroin constantly.
They don't have the chemicals on their planet X to and yeah, it's pretty awesome. And they also have the scientist that Dolph Lundgren takes the killing CD to, and he has Parkinson's, but the actor totally overdoes it. So every scene he's in, he's like shaking and stuff. Wait, is this supposed to be some character moment? Because
Are you sure the guy's not just on heroin?
He could be.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember. I saw a couple things. I watched so much shit, I can't remember what I watched. And I guess the last thing I watched is a movie called Grace, which is this movie about this lady who's pregnant, and she thinks she gets in a car accident where her husband dies, and the baby dies too, but she decides to carry the baby to term, and the baby's stillborn, but it's dead, and they hand it to her, and then the baby comes back to life, and it's a really weird, disturbing movie. But it's really good because it's one of those movies where you're watching it and it says, this could get a little more uncomfortable. And then it does, because the mom of the husband who died wants to steal her baby. So she's like pumping milk out of her breast to steal the baby. And
what?
Yeah. And then the baby lives off.
How does that help you steal the? Oh, never mind.
And then the baby lives off blood, and it's like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? And it smells bad because the baby's dead. It's weird. It's weird.
I remember I saw that film when it came out.
Yeah.
I was like, and I thought, like, this is the scariest film you could ever see. And then I saw actual scary films.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's one of those movies where it's just uncomfortable while you're watching it.
Yeah.
Nothing really like crazy happens, but you're just going,
Its heart came back to life.
I got really excited.
Yeah, it's a lot like that cat there, that baby in that movie, where every once in a while it gives signs of life. But yeah,
like a really bizarre film.
The movie's weird, but it's in a cool, weird way where American Mary is not. And that's what I watched this week. Henry?
All right. I'm really into the Oscars, even though I don't really like most of the films they have. But so I'm like I'm watching all of like the Oscar baity films right now.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So I saw Carol. I thought that was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
That was great.
Yeah. I saw Spotlight, which was everyone says Spotlight's gonna be like the one that wins Best Picture. I was kind of not. I didn't think it was. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was all that great though. It didn't really add anything to the
Anyone
table.
else holding out for Mad Max?
Yes,
the 10th slot.
The 10th slot. It's got to be Mad Max.
Those are the two like really Oscar-y films I saw. I saw Entertainment, which it's from the same guy that did a comedy, and it's weird because I understand what they're trying to do, and I hate that they succeeded with it. Did you see it? I see you nodding it.
I haven't seen it yet, but we have the director coming into the Alamo on December 15th. Sorry for that little plug there.
Nice.
I love the comedy.
Where can we get tickets to see that?
At drafthouse.com.
Okay, cool.
/Denver.
Very cool.
But yeah, I really love the comedy. So I guess since you've seen the entertainment, how do you relate it to that?
What's it? I actually don't know about the entertainment, so tell me what it is.
Entertainment is about it's a hard drama, or at least that's like what they're trying to do, or it's what it's marketed as. It's about a pretty much failed stand-up comedian who is wandering through the Mojave Desert doing stand-up acts. And it's about how horrible his life is.
Just in the desert, or is he at
He goes to various clubs and that kind of thing. He's not just doing. It's
I'd be there.
An armadillo.
Yeah,
but
it's like Rango, but with comedy.
Yeah.
So like Rango.
Yeah. So, but he goes to all these clubs, and he's not a good stand-up comedian at all. And so you see him do his set and how he's really.
So he's like Jeff Dunham.
It's that, but sad. And so, and he has his opening act, who's 1,000 times more successful than he is, played by Ty Sheridan.
Ty Sheridan's the opening act.
He's the opening act, then it goes into him.
Is he a grown man now?
Because in the trailer he sounds like an old his
I thought
voice
he was
is
15.
No, Ty Sheridan is not the main character. The main character is played by Greg Turkins.
No, Ty Sheridan's the one that he's the makeup on.
Yeah. Which it's hard to recognize him when you first see him. Yeah,
it's insane.
But it's clear that he's 10 times funnier than Greg Turkins' character, and then really nothing happens. It's him going from venue to venue and being all this weird stuff happening to him, and I left the theater and I was like, oh, it's called entertainment because it's the most boring film on the planet. It's probably an hour and 20 minutes long, and it feels like 3 hours.
Ooh.
I totally understand what they're trying to go for. They're going for or at least my interpretation of the film was that they want you to overthink it. There's a lot of scenes in the film that I'm not going to spoil for those of you that do want to go to the Alamo Drafthouse screening.
Thanks.
There are
when is that screening again?
December 15th.
Oh, great.
We're doing a double feature with the comedy afterwards too.
Oh, that's cool.
Good. Oh,
but there's some scenes that are very clear the Sundance typical symbolism type scenes that I'm pretty sure they put in the director can be he wants you to overthink it, and I think that's the message of it. I think it's supposed to be there's really nothing here except boringness, and so I understand what they're trying to do, and they succeeded very much, but I still hate it. So because they succeed so well, and then I saw Korean Good now, but we'll talk about that at the end, and then I saw the Seth Rogen one the night before. Which, if you like those films, I'd go check it out. It's not their strongest one by any means, but if you really like those guys, you can go check it out. So I don't really need to say if you're really into them. So
I do like the guys who brought me Superbad.
Does it have a emotional core on the level of or less than a 50-50?
It's not that strong.
Okay.
It has an emotional core probably on the same level as
Trainwreck.
No, Trainwreck was great.
We'll fight.
Well, Trainwreck.
I'll fight right
they have one, but it's not
do it, fight.
Trainwreck is fine.
They have a message. I like Trainwreck. I thought it was okay.
Well, look at James back down because he got called out by count. It's oh no, it's fine.
I think
so. Now you know.
To be fair, I think Trainwreck is probably going to be in my 20s somewhere. It's just if you can go back to the episode, it is not a Paul Rudd or a Judd Apatow movie. So.
Yeah. But they have a message to it. They have a moral side to it.
Yeah. But
it doesn't hit nearly as hard as it's probably on the same level as Neighbors being respect thy neighbor.
Oh.
So
okay.
So yeah, it's not a substantial kind of film or anything. So
yeah.
And then I saw Jessica Jones, but we can talk about that at the end once we get to you. So because I imagine you guys want to talk about that. So
yeah, we can talk about Jessica Jones. Brad, what did you watch this week?
I saw Stargate for the first time.
What? What the fuck?
And you realize it's not that good, yeah?
Oh, come on! I mean, yeah, it's not, but how did you like it?
Yes, it's whatever. It's a Roland Emmerich, Dean Devlin movie from the 90s.
Yeah. It is the best Roland Emmerich film, though.
No, I still think The Patriot is.
Yeah. I was gonna say Independence Day, but I don't think Dean Devlin did The Patriot with him, so...
I don't think so either.
But as far as their collaboration... anyway, yeah, it was just kind of... I don't know, having heard my friends talk about it for 20 years, it always seemed more epic than just a nerdy scientist and a couple of military guys going to the desert and talk to other desert people.
There's a creepy kid
who's like, a weird kid, like not a very compelling villain. Like all the special effects give him his terror and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the one cool thing is like when they do reveal, it's like it's normal people, but they have those like Anubis head things. They're like robotic. Like that was cool. Yeah. And then some of the stuff they pull off, not using CGI, I guess, for the time, is impressive. But for most of the story, I was just tuning out as I was watching it. And then I also watched Sneakers, which is
great movie.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You throw great around really haphazardly.
I'd say there's a lot of great movies in the world.
Sneakers is not one of them.
It has great actors in it, but I'd say 70% of the movie is those actors just talking about the technology that they're going to use or that they could use.
Very sneakily.
Sneakily.
This is the first time you've ever seen Sneakers?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I grew up watching Sneakers, so okay. Yeah.
I grew up watching the live-action Scooby-Doo, but I can admit that that's not very good.
Fair, Henry.
The acting between the characters is good on screen. It's it's Dan Aykroyd's like a computer nerd in it. And, I'm talking to you.
I don't know. I own this movie.
And then David Strathairn, I didn't realize until about halfway through the movie that he was blind.
Were you watching?
It's just he seemed like
when you fell asleep
such an expert in what he does. It's not until he's trying to use Braille to figure out he was blind the whole time. And then he does all the sounds investigation stuff towards the end. And I'm like, okay, that's what his place on the team is. That's why he's so attuned and asking people use sound to describe where you were and stuff. And but the overall plot is just Ben Kingsley. There's a Maltese, or what is it? Not the Maltese Falcon. What is it? The
MacGuffin?
The MacGuffin.
Oh, okay.
There's just this
the
MacGuffin.
Maltese Falcon.
I thought I was joking. I was like, okay, yeah.
There's a MacGuffin of just this device that can hack into any government computer system. So they give it over to the bad guys, and then they have this whole plan of getting it back, and it's all right.
Did anyone see the trailer for Gods of Egypt?
Oh,
what the fuck am I watching?
What happened to Alex Proyas?
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know what I'm watching, but I'm like, this looks so stupid that it could be fun, but then I don't understand what I'm watching.
Did you see they apologized publicly for that film this year?
Yeah, I think that's silly. Does it really matter?
I mean, we can have a conversation about racism in casting and all of that, but it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit about whether or not there's racism in a movie? No one's going to give a shit about.
Casting, or are they just casting people?
No, there is absolutely racism in casting. There is.
Well, there aren't a lot of Egyptian stars to bank your movie on.
No,
I don't think it's solely we're not going to cast Egyptian people. We're going to cast white people.
Why did they say anything to Ridley Scott? How racist he is.
They did.
They totally did.
They totally
did. A lot of people say that's why.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
No, I don't look. I think it is a much bigger issue than one film. I think that there is a problem that needs to get addressed in just general casting and the films that we make.
Why did they say anything about casting a Samoan as a Scorpion King before?
Because it's The Rock, and anytime you cast The Rock, anything, it's because it's going to make money.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Yes, 100%. Yes.
I just think it's silly.
I think that there are some big problems that Hollywood needs to actually fix. I'd like to see a movie where there's an Asian man who's not either nerdy or alone.
Where his hero trait is more than he's Asian.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of really bad things going on in
I think Ken Jeong in The Hangover.
But the problem is not a shitty fucking Egyptian movie that no one is going to remember 2 weeks after it comes out.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
That's why it doesn't matter.
I forget about it every time, 5 minutes after there's news about it.
Yeah.
I saw the posters, I'm like, oh, that's something I'm not going to see.
The thing with me is, though, there's no... I find it hard to believe that Lionsgate's sitting there saying, we're making this movie called Gods of Egypt. Let's not cast any Egyptians.
They're not doing it because they don't want to put black people in the movie. They're doing it because they know that white people will make the movie more money.
Yeah, which I mean, yeah.
It is not about the race. It's about the reality of what's going to make the money. Which again doesn't matter.
I would say Furious 7
made
made tons of money. It's the most diverse cast. So I don't buy the argument either.
Okay.
I think it's just people.
I agree that I think that. I mean, we saw a movie today with a very diverse cast. I agree that movies with a lot of black people in them can be not only fantastic,
I think if once we look past that and
money.
just enjoy movies for what they are, then it will be all right.
I agree, but I don't think the casting directors are doing that.
You really? You really think when they're casting Gods of Egypt, they're like, let's get all white people?
No, I think when they're casting Gods of Egypt, they're saying, who's popular because this movie is dog shit, and if we don't get Jerry Butler in here, no one's going to go see it. That's what they're doing.
Jerry Butler's not going to get me to see
That's
it.
what I'm saying. There's
no,
no,
he's not. He's not.
There's no race card.
I don't.
behind it.
I don't think any of these people are intelligent. But the only reason I even remember this movie is because every time I see it, I go, "Oh fuck, Dark City is so good," and Alex Proyas has not made another great film. It's really sad.
So I also watched Legend. Where he's okay.
The Tom Cruise one? That's a diverse cast right there.
He plays a wild boy. How about that scene where the unicorn loses its horn? It's so
I
good.
haven't seen the original Legend. So, whatever.
I have it on Blu-ray.
I love. So how
Three cuts of the film if you want to watch it.
So
Right.
how is the British remake of Legend?
It's very different from what the previews of Ridley Scott's Legend. They really went a different direction with it. Legend, Tom Hardy plays two British criminal gangsters from the 1960s called the Cray Brothers, and that's pretty much the best part of the movie is watching him play two.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah,
So instead of having one Tom Hardy, you gotta have two Tom Hardys.
Do you think the director had to deal with his twice the ego on the set?
With an even thicker accent and even more unintelligible than you're used to. But yeah, it's pretty standard crime story, like in the vein of Goodfellas and stuff. But instead, Tom Hardy's playing, and actually the director kind of pulls off cool way because eventually they get into a fist fight and fight each other. So there's shots like that where you're kind of impressed that they're actually in the same scene. And the brothers are pretty different. So Tom Hardy's kind of playing really still two different characters, and the way some makeup helps some of that, but they're very distinct, and you kind of forget that he's in two separate roles. It's almost like there really is two different people playing him.
Do you think Tom Hardy wants to be nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor for playing one brother?
Zach and I were joking about that.
Really?
If that, I don't think it would happen, but if it came to pass,
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I think
and he won both.
You mean like if he's nominated for like Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor for just Legend?
Yeah, because one of the characters.
I think like the Academy made a rule in like the 40s said you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
After Parent Trap.
No, because someone was nominated for the same character in both Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor for the same exact character, and they're like, we can't let this happen again.
Well, he's not the same character.
You could make the argument that he's playing two characters.
Yeah,
right?
I guess you could do that. Yeah,
because one character is like a lead actor, and the other one is not on screen that much. He's kind of like throws a wrench and everything once in a while.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure if it's
he's
like
a very supporting
As
character.
a twin often does.
Yeah.
I am glad that you said that they have different scenes because when I see the trailers, it literally looks like it's a split screen when they're sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh man, is that all they do? Is just sit next to each other and
No,
talk?
it's more complex than that.
Is the fight scene at least better than we put Zoe Bell in a mask and so we're shooting it over her shoulder and she's punching Tom Hardy and then we reverse it?
Well, I'm sure some of the scenes like over the shoulder, it probably obviously is just completely separate person. But when they're actually punching each other, like sometimes the wider shots, you could also, I couldn't tell, but it could be fast enough that it's obviously just the stunt doubles fighting each other. But there are some close-up ones where I have to wonder, like did they just put a digital Tom Hardy face over another person, or is that like split screen? I don't know. So
yeah,
but yeah, that was probably the coolest part of it. Yeah.
Cool.
So, would you recommend seeing it, or?
Yeah, if you want to see an actor like act,
Sorry,
like really act, not just like
trying.
like trying to be trying to be a character, not so much like I have this thing with people say Denzel Washington is a great actor, and I agree, but I feel like he plays the same character in almost every movie.
Yeah.
So he's like, whereas like an actual character actor, you see them like in different makeups, like creating different personas. So
like Shia LaBeouf.
What?
He plays a lot of different people.
No, he doesn't.
A lot of different people.
Oh yeah, he was that Eagle Eye guy and Sam Witwicky and
Holes.
Mutt Williams.
Yeah, pretty much different.
In the Holes.
And in the Holes. He was in Holes.
He just did that hashtag all my movies. Did you guys see that?
I watched some of it.
Yeah, I got in a couple times.
That guy's goofier than a loon.
Yeah.
Kind of insane, but great.
Well, I think I've thought this for a while. I think you can make fun of Shia LaBeouf all you want, but I guarantee you in 20 years from now, people are going to refer to him as this generation's Yoko Ono. Like he's gonna be
That he
like,
broke
oh,
up the
that.
Beatles?
Did you
Like
hear-
idiots are gonna be saying that.
Did you hear about his art installation?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
No.
He rented like a retail space down in Los Angeles, and you'd pay to go in, and he'd sit at a table with a bag over his head, and you would get to talk to him, but he wouldn't talk to you back. And then, like a couple months later, Jerry O'Connell rented the space right next to that, and like you could come hang out with him for free and just like party and no bag over the head, no questions. Like, yeah,
Wait, I could party with him?
yeah,
With Jerry O'Connell?
yeah. He wasn't like in a costume or.
I was like, hey, Jerry O'Connell, remember Sliders? That's me reaching really far in the well, guys.
Yeah, it is. Cool. Was
Yeah,
it me?
that's it for me this week. Yeah.
Cool. I watched The Final Girls this week
nice.
on Ryan's recommendation, which is, if you didn't hear that episode, a movie about some kids who get sucked into it's the Page Master only for horror movies.
I agree.
And not animated. So they get sucked into a horror movie that the one girl's mom is in, and it has a couple of things that slightly bugged me, like Malin Ackerman looks the same age in the future as she does in the past, and I don't
She's
believe
like
that
43.
I have
She
a
is
hard
fucking
time believing
beautiful.
that she is Taza Farmiga's mother, but still, that was okay because the movie is like clearly lower budget than it probably deserves, because it's a really neat idea, and they do a decent job. The villain though is like the cheesiest of like it was almost too.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
supposed to be.
No, it is, but it's not. I don't know. There's like it's hard not to bring up Cabin in the Woods because they are similar like send ups or deconstructions of horror. But like with Cabin in the Woods, they took the villains and made them like more like when you're in the situation, they're more realistic. And I think I would have enjoyed that more, where it was like once you get sucked in, like somehow the guy on screen who you're like, oh, that's so silly, he's so dumb, like in real life is really scary, but he's not really that scary in the movie. But there's a lot of good gags in there, like the flashbacks and stuff like that. I think it's definitely worth checking out. If you conveniently know someone who owns it, you should borrow it from them because it's at least worth that. It was fun. And the cast is all really good. That guy from Silicon Valley, the main actor from Silicon
Thomas
Valley,
Middleditch.
is in it. Yeah. And he's sort of the like. He's the guy who's a big fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
So he's just thrilled to be in the movie. That's pretty good. I could totally see a sequel to that movie. That would be fun. So I saw that, and then really the only other thing I rewatched Inside Out this week, which is great. I will say that a few things that I have watched this week, sort of in getting ready for the top 10 list at the end of the year, have made me rethink some assumptions that I had, and have made the list for this year a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Because I sort of put it together and was like, here's 8, and there's 2 more movies coming down the line that'll probably fit in there, and like this is going to be so easy. And I probably still know what the 10 are, but I'll be completely honest, I do not know what's at the top anymore.
Really? Like what's number one or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think most people probably would have assumed that they knew what I was going to have as my number 1. But I genuinely don't know anymore. I have a really good argument for why it shouldn't be.
If you're reconsidering Jurassic World, man, I think you should do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Well, me and Brad were debating if Mordecai should be number 1 or 2.
That's on my list because I missed that episode. I'm wondering if I should make sure I check that out before the end of it. That's based on a book?
Yeah, it's based on like a big franchise, and they
Yeah.
were like acting as though we've all heard of it, like at the promotion, like.
The movie you've all been waiting for.
Remember he grew his mustache out? That's like
Out
an
of
hour
what?
and a half worth of jokes in that movie. You laugh thinking I'm not telling you the truth.
No,
I'm
that's totally
100%
like,
telling you the
That's
truth.
essentially the plot of the film.
It is. Does anyone else get bothered by Gwyneth Paltrow? Everything she does just like actually irritates me.
Even Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad
why-
she wasn't in Avengers 2. Like,
That's why Chris Martin left her.
Then they named their kid Apple.
Yeah. Anyway, the last thing is that I finished Jessica Jones. Ryan, did you finish Jessica
I did.
Jones? It's good.
This is gonna get gnarly. I can feel it.
I don't like it as much as Daredevil.
No.
And the thing that you said before is what I wish it had. I I think they totally pull their punches on some stuff with the Purple Man, and I wish that the Purple Man weren't the only villain in the show, because he is no Wilson Fisk. I love Wilson Fisk, and the Purple Man's got some interesting stuff to him, but like
he's purple.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the room who has not finished it yet?
He is.
We haven't finished it.
Okay.
But I don't think I want to. So prove to me why I should, James.
So did you not like it at all?
I am so irritated by this goddamn show.
How far in are you?
How far? Like 5 episodes in?
Yeah, maybe like 4.
4 or 5.
Are you? Can I just make a guess that you're frustrated because you're just like, it's just so edgy. Like it so wants to be edgy. Is that the thing that bothers you?
That'd be a no.
Pretty much
I was just
every
curious.
aspect, from the way it's shot to the acting to the story to the lighting to literally everything.
So literally everything.
Literally everything just
The
really
way it's
irritates
shot
the
annoys
shit.
me more than anything
Talk about
in the whole
you.
world.
You had a good point
I
about
think
this.
it's really weird. Every shot, there's half a wall.
Yeah, it's like
Almost
everything is just
every
like trying to
shot.
peek around the corner.
There's like almost every shot, it's like half a wall and then her through a crack, and you can see her, and it's kind of weird and it's kind of creepy, and it adds nothing.
Like
And it
once in a
drives me
while, if the
crazy.
director
It's
and
so
the cinematographer
nitpicky.
are trying to like lead your eye somewhere, like that's cool. But like for every single fucking shot, that shot, oh my god, when is it gonna stop? Does it stop, James?
Dude, I didn't even notice. It does not bother me.
we got
so I
so-
can't
so
even tell
nitpicky.
you whether or not your weird picky thing stops because I didn't even know it was in the show because I was paying attention to the story and the characters. But
It's so flat and so boring.
No, I think Kristen Ritter's really good. I think
I like her.
Luke Cage might be a little weak, but to be fair, he's not asked to do a lot in the show except for her.
I mean, after like his like story arc kind of ends or comes to a climax, he really disappears for a while. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but he comes back.
well, I didn't want to spoil it,
Yeah.
even though they clearly don't care. It's
Yeah,
like-
right, exactly. Like, they're not gonna finish the show because I can't win you. Did you like Daredevil?
I didn't watch it.
Well, then what the fuck are you doing? No, I'm
Because-
just kidding.
Jessica Jones came out, and then that was all I heard about for like 4
Yeah,
days.
everyone, seriously, all of our friends
And
have just been
then-
like Jessica Jones, Jessica Jones, Jessica Jones.
We're like going somewhere, and they're like, "Can't, sorry, watching Jessica Jones." I was like, "God,
Yeah, I mean,
must be good."
I think the mind control stuff and the I think the shit she's dealing with is really interesting, and I like that story. I wish there was a little bit of Veronica Mars in there. Like I wanted her to solve a few other.
That's what bothers
crimes.
me. It makes me want to watch Veronica Mars instead. Like that's the feeling. I also love Veronica Mars too much.
Which
More
also
than a
has
person
Kristen Ritter
should.
in it.
It does. She's also in Gilmore Girls. It all comes together.
Wow, it's just full circle. No, I still
how did
love.
you feel, Ryan?
I still love Jessica Jones. I think it's actually a really good show.
I do
still,
too.
I'm still partial to Agent Carter because I like the setup for Agent Carter more.
Sure, yeah.
But it's more of a personal preference. I had lots of fun. It's one of the first Netflix shows besides Daredevil that I actually watched almost straight through, with a few interruptions. I still think Daredevil's a little better, but I still love Jessica Jones. I think together, if they're trying to go for like a Marvel Knights kind of setup, I think is cool because I mean, obviously that's what they're doing. If they're going with Punisher showing up and Luke
Yeah.
Cage is going to have his own series.
When they've said they're going to try to do a Defender show once they get all three.
Yeah,
seasons.
so that's just Marvel Knights to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I love the chances that they actually take on Netflix and let the characters breathe more. I think that's why Daredevil works so well.
Yeah.
And they didn't rely on a Frank Miller story, I think is why Daredevil worked really well too.
Yeah.
Because Frank Miller drives me crazy.
Yeah, Daredevil for me is just a lot more. It's a lot more fun. I don't like Matthew as much as I like Jessica. I'm interested in her character more than I am him. But Daredevil's got a lot of action, and I just think that Wilson Fisk is like a lovable, horrible human being. And there's just really interesting turns and really interesting side characters there that I'm rooting for. Jessica Jones kind of burns some of the side characters in some weird ways. There's a subplot in the second half of the season.
Or like the plot twist, I guess, of that one character.
Yeah. That twist that I kind of... It feels like a season 2 twist.
Yeah,
it feels like a thing
I was
they
kind
shouldn't
of
have
bummed
done.
they did it already.
Yeah. Because I liked that character, and I liked Trish, and I liked the stuff that was going on there.
Who it is.
And I just... that suddenly felt very comic book TV. That felt like the kind of stuff I would expect out of whatever's going on in the Flash.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, all of a sudden, like,
or like
I see Flash fighting like this huge like shark man. That looks cool.
Is that really?
Yeah. I mean, I won't watch it because it's Flash, but I mean, the monster dude looks really badass.
King Shark.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
The character design's badass on the TV show.
Just anytime that somebody shows up and is like, I don't know, I'm on pills, man. Like that to me, it's just a little weak. By comparison to Daredevil, which I thought was very, very tight.
Yeah.
And so it was just, I think I'm just a little disappointed, but I'm disappointed by a show that like I obsessively watched for a week because it's really fun. It's dark enough though that like it's a show that I keep wondering like, can I even let my mom watch this show? Because I like it a lot, and she loves Daredevil. But this season it's dark. It's just not as dark as it could have been. Yeah. They make the Purple Man way more tolerable.
No, really, because I've not read a lot. I only know about like the Purple Children in the comics.
Yeah,
I've not. So like, this is not nearly as intense as in the comics.
No.
Oh wow, I should probably read some Purple Man comics.
I'll say that like, I don't think this is spoilers. They talk about like when she was kidnapped by him.
Yeah.
That like they had sex and
Yeah.
she's like, you raped me.
Yeah.
So he never does that in the book. The things he does to her
are worse.
Are theoretically more like psychologically scarring.
Okay.
Maybe like we would have to have a conversation. About that. But like he does shit that on paper sounds real fucked up.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's so funny. You know, there's one director that I can't stand, and no matter what his movies are,
Tom Hooper. I cannot like his close-ups and his Dutch angles. Because I was watching, I never saw John Adams, and it was on sale for Blu-ray last year. It was like $7 or something. So, oh, cool. And I started watching it, and the camera's moving. Like, who the fuck directed this? And I pull it up. Yep, there he is.
Also not a fan of him either.
Yeah, it's just
here's just a shot of Paul Giamatti's head.
Yep, but it's crooked.
What else has Tom Hooper done?
Les Mis.
Oh, I fucking hate that guy too. Because I know it was John Adams, but like I keep forgetting his name.
What did he do before Les Mis?
King's Speech.
And it's not as bad in King's Speech.
It's not
but,
as
but
bad,
he does
but
it
it's
in
still,
the speech.
Yeah.
So like the climax of the movie, but you don't blame him as much because the king is like in this little box.
Exactly.
So you're like, okay, there's nothing else to look at. But Les Mis, like, there's these huge set pieces, and he's like, let me get real close to you. I don't want to show any of this.
I know they're
movie
trying
off.
to like focus on the performances in Les Miserables, but it's distracting.
Why don't you just love Anne Hathaway's tears? Why don't you just get closer to Anne Hathaway's
Why
tears?
couldn't you have loved the 5 minutes she was in that movie?
If I could just shoot from inside Anne Hathaway's tears, this song would be so good.
I don't know. He just drives me crazy.
Can't wait for the fucking Danish Girl, the most Oscar baity film of the year that he's doing this year.
I know. That's why I won't see it. I love Eddie Redmayne, but I will not see that movie because the way he decides to shoot films is distracting. Where people say J.J. Abrams with lens flares because that's his thing, distracting. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
because
it's like I like watched all the films after hearing like all Star Trek films being like, oh, there's so many lens flares. I was like, not really. Like they like integrate it well enough that it's like it feels more natural.
It's fine.
And there are a lot of them. He's been very upfront about the fact that he was experimenting with it for certain reasons, and he doesn't do it as much as he used to. Like,
but I can get past that. It's just when I have to look at a movie with my head tilted, and then it's distracting from the performance.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Yep.
I mean, I'm sure Hugh Jackman's great in Les Miserables, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I'll never know because
I was too busy looking away from the screen so that my eyes wouldn't bleed.
Like that one scene where he's confessing that he stole stuff or whatever it is. It's literally his head is the whole frame. And I don't even know what's going on behind him.
Where is he?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I watched.
Yeah. This is real news.
In other news, the Prime Minister of Sweden visited Washington today, and my tiny little nipples went to France.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
Oh, it's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson! Everyone, it's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson!
I like a do da cha-cha. I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
Hey James,
What?
did you get the news that the Braveheart trailer's out?
I did get the news that the Braveheart trailer is out. That's pretty good. Did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, could you put it in the show?
Oh, you know, I don't. I'd have to talk to the editing team.
Put it in, you son of a bitch.
Sup, babe?
Hey, cutie.
You know I love you. Always have. Except with Blonde in the club last night. I love her too. But I want to say, you're the only girl I'll have sex with. And I'll take you to all the coolest raves. Even though you won't be the only girl. Yeah.
All right.
Nebulous Visions Productions is ashamed to present.
Who did this? Who killed my wench?
The purveyors of good taste. Hipsters, if you will. They slain her because she wouldn't listen to 45 records of Frank Sinatra while drinking PBR tall boys. It is the law.
No!
Based on a terrible idea by executive dickhead Ryan Frost.
The weapons of my fathers will be used in my just war against the purveyors of good taste.
The fourth film by Zach Eastman.
They can take our turntable, but they will never take our rhythm!
Every man dies, but not every man truly spins. Braveheart.
Pedestrian at best.
How dare you?
Oh man, yeah, no, that was good. That was cool. Good job.
We turned a joke from the show.
You took a dumb thing that Ryan accidentally said and turned it into a show short.
Yep.
Best part is the
Mission
selfie.
accomplished. Huh?
I like the selfie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was good. Log on to nebulousvisions.com to check out
to see the actual.
I mean, the realnerdspodcast.com. That's where it's at. A Nebulous Visions production, featuring voice work by this gentleman
How
here.
about me? I was going to make a sarcastic comment. That's been done before. So
Yeah, sarcastic comments aren't welcome here.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Speaking of great trailers, well, maybe, I don't know.
Zoolander 2? I know, right?
It is really good. No, it's...
Is that the one you're going to talk about?
No, it's not.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, wow.
It's funny. Every time I see that trailer, the only thing that runs through my mind is, yes, but why male models? I don't know why I always think of that line.
Yeah,
So-
that's all I think of.
I've never seen Zoolander. Should I check that movie out?
You should totally check that movie out.
That was so precious.
It was. I've never seen that side of Henry before.
Yeah,
I really like that movie.
I was watching the trailer when Mugatu storms out of the prison with like he's all roided up.
yeah.
I almost wish he like stayed like that as the full character.
Yeah,
So-
that would have been a great joke reveal, you know.
yeah, like as you're watching it, but now it's in the trailer. It's like okay, well that's past. But,
Yeah.
I thought it would have actually been funny if in the movie he like had spent all that time in prison, so like he had this different physique the whole time.
Yeah. Like
But
now he's
now it's
like
just a coat.
now he's like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we got a trailer for Civil War. Ryan, what do you think?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It is pretty good.
I like that they decided that Bucky's the problem, and that's why it's Civil War.
So that is actually the thing that I'm nervous about.
Really?
Yeah, because
you're more nervous about a dude named Speedball who tries to blow himself up and kills kids.
No.
I mean Nitro. I'm sorry.
No, I more mean like if Bucky is the problem, and that's why they do the Registration Act. Yes.
Well, yeah,
because there's been some rumor that they may not actually have a Registration Act in the movie, and
yeah,
if that's
'cause I thought that
true,
too, yeah.
If it's really just like...
If the Civil War is solely on Bucky, I don't think that'll work.
No.
Yes.
What I think is, and I mean, I could be wrong watching the trailer, but there's a part where you see Bucky running and blowing things up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he's kind of, stuck and he doesn't remember doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cap is trying to say, hey, he's my friend and he's been programmed.
Right.
And Iron Man says, well, he needs to take responsibility for what he did. And then they have that sweet scene where he's fighting both of them and he's like punching the shield and he's blocking. But oh my gosh, I cried when I saw that.
Refresh my memory. When we last left Bucky and Winter Soldier, he was just kind of browsing museums, right?
He's going around a museum.
When did he get captured?
In a movie that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
They show him at the end of Ant-Man.
It seems like it starts from like after that.
They show him.
No, that's how the trailer starts.
Well, they captured him in Ant-Man's bonus scene, but it's like, again, how did they capture him? Like, he was on the lam.
They're fucking going to make a movie about that.
But what I like about it is, the thing I was worried, I guess it's not a worry thing, is this really just going to be Avengers 2.5? And after watching it, it feels like a Captain America movie.
Totally.
The trailer.
Yeah.
And I love that Black Widow is against him because she doesn't agree. I think it sets up for something really cool.
I just don't want... It can't be as simple as Steve Rogers choosing Bucky over Tony. Like, there needs to be a bigger issue going on.
Way more.
Yeah.
And the trailer buries a lot of stuff. There's no Baron Zemo. There's very little Crossbones in the trailer. Like, the actual villains
Except
of the film...
they revealed, does War Machine die?
Yeah, I was like, that's
There's a
pretty
scene
cool.
where like he's holding him.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's not dead. But,
just-
it's a weird thing.
He just passes out in the suit, man. He's tired.
How cool is the Black Panther in it though, too?
Yeah, I thought the costume looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks cool. I'm excited for it. Yeah. Steve, you don't give a shit, right?
Haven't watched the trailer yet.
Oh, okay. Great.
okay.
You should. It's good. Trust me.
I will.
that part where Captain America's like, but he's my friend, and then Tony's like, but I thought I was your friend. It was also kind of, I don't know, a little melodramatic.
But then remember when he's fighting him and he has to fight both of them? It's awesome.
That line of dialogue also feels edited together, so I don't know that
not
it
from the
happens
same scene.
exactly. or if it is like, it's probably not from a scene where like they punch each other and then say that the way they do in the trailer, like which I think is part of what makes it feel.
I just
so...
hope Captain America has a speech about why he's doing the right thing.
Yeah,
like he does in his other
I hope
movies,
he-
and
I-
I want to stand up and salute.
I hope he decides to stop being Captain America. Like if he takes off the suit, he's like, "I'm the Patriot now."
Well, I
That'd
mean,
be an interesting
if
twist
you read the comic
turn of
book,
events.
does he do that at the end of Civil War?
No.
Something much worse happens.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of does.
Yeah, but cool. We also, well, we didn't do anything. Fox just sort of tried to quietly. Fox tried to quietly remove Fantastic Four 2 from their upcoming
Shocking.
releases, and of course, everybody was like, "Ha ha! You guys suck." So it became news that they are definitely not going to make Fantastic Four 2, which they shouldn't because they fucked up the first one.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, like my only concern is like they still said like they said like a while ago. I'm not sure if it's still on the table or not, but like they still wanted to integrate all of those Fantastic Four characters into the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Are they still planning on doing that, or are they just scrapping all Fantastic Four altogether? 'Cause they haven't really announced that yet. Which
Yeah.
Do you think they're going
there's
to release
still a chance they're going to fuck this up?
a Blu-ray called the Trank Cut?
That sounds filthy.
Get tranked.
Get tranked.
Yeah, well, and they are like at the same time we've got rumors going on around.
Actually, that would be really shitty for Fox to like specifically label like they're releasing the movie, but it's they only released the director's cut, so it's like more on him.
Yeah,
they should.
Like there is no regular edition out.
I would buy the Blu-ray if they had a behind-the-scenes making of, and all they did was trash them. I think that'd be awesome. Because those are my favorite making ofs when they say, "Oh yeah, this guy was an asshole." But on the Bordello of Blood Blu-ray, all they do is just rip Dennis Miller about how much of a piece of shit he is. I'm like, "Oh, I love this." Corey Feldman was saying how much of a piece of shit Dennis Miller is. The guy who wrote Choreography, his autobiography, wrote how much of a piece of shit Dennis Miller is. I love those special features.
That's so cool.
And they're just like, "Yeah, this guy's an asshole."
man. Yeah, shoot, I forgot where I was going.
So hopefully they have Scott. Is it Scott Kinberg? Is that the producer?
Simon Kinberg.
Simon Kinberg, and he comes out and because he basically says, "Yeah, that dude's a fucking piece of shit. He
Yeah.
can't do Boba Fett." And then they add this sound effect. Womp, womp, womp.
Well, and there's rumors going around about Bryan Singer making a sequel to Apocalypse to film like next year or the year after.
Is that a rumor? I thought they confirmed that.
I don't know that it's 100%. I mean, the next one's not even out yet. I have a hard time like.
But it's also X-Men, which is like a very established and
yeah.
Apocalypse is going to make its money back.
But the question then is like, if they're in talks about, well, what do you do as a sequel to Apocalypse? Do you go get the Fantastic Four characters?
That's true. I can see that. Yeah,
and push them into whatever your new X-Men thing is, and because I don't know how
you make XVF, X-Men versus Fantastic Four. It practically writes itself.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. You could. Anyway, Kevin.
Thanks for laughing at my joke a minute later, Steve. I appreciate that.
I was trying to figure out what that actually was in Roman numerals.
It'd be 10, 5,
XVFF.
I don't know what
it'd be XVIV. Because 4 is.
Oh, right. Yeah. Now I understand the joke.
Yeah, that's not good.
Fox,
anyway,
call me. I have ideas.
Kevin Bacon's also going to make a TV show out of Tremors.
Fuck you!
And be in it.
And be in it, yeah. I'm okay with that. I would watch a Tremors TV show.
You know, it'd be sweet
If
if
he
it
just
took place in a town where they outlawed dancing, and then all of a sudden the Graboids show up.
Yeah!
It's a Tremors show, but not with his character. Like,
Just him and John
it's the
Lithgow.
Footloose character.
Just him and John Lithgow standing on a roof yelling at each other.
Because I'm pretty sure in Tremors he also uses tractors. So I think the universe is just... He's basically the same character from Footloose.
God told me to dance on a roof.
Just don't dance on the ground. Otherwise they'll get you.
And then there's a legitimate side to John Lithgow's argument. Like,
Yeah.
we can't dance.
If you dance, they come.
You're waking the tremors.
Hey, Brad, I think we just found your next short film.
Footloose 2.
You hear that, Zach? Let's get on it.
A whole lot of shaking going on. Anyway, that's all the news I have, unless I missed something. Anybody?
I feel like there's something else. But...
Maybe. There was something interesting that I was going to bring up, and then I forgot about it. So, that's not
Star
news.
Wars stuff?
There's all, I honestly
Star
ignore
Wars
all
is
the
like
Star
every
Wars.
day at this
Yeah.
point.
If there's an article about Star Wars, I scroll past it, to be completely honest. If you want to read about Star Wars, go onto literally every fucking movie website, and they'll tell you what's going on. But I have tickets to the movie, so I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go see it. So...
You're going to one of the 3 a.m. screenings.
I'm going to a 6:25, yeah.
gonna be great.
Which, just so everybody knows, according to Steve, you're allowed to bring in pillows, blankets, and wear PJs. You're just not allowed to fall
You
asleep.
cannot. Okay, but for real though, you can't fall asleep because we're technically a bar, so we have to kick
I
you
will
out.
wake
I
you
figured.
up.
Oh,
But
wow.
you can
That's
get
my
as
favorite
comfortable
thing to do is wake people up.
Yeah, as comfortable as you
shit.
need to get, as long as it's not in the way of like servers or another
yeah.
guest. It's not disruptive. So obviously, like be responsible. But I mean, if you want to bring in, like when we did the overnight, what was that marathon we did of the David Lynch show? Twin Peaks.
Oh.
We did the 24-hour Twin Peaks marathon.
Why would anyone fall asleep to that, Steve?
Because it's an amazing show, and David Lynch is great.
Uh,
But yeah, people brought like pillows and stuff for that too.
There's
so.
about 1 in 5 who thinks David Lynch is great.
Yeah.
I'd say everything he's been in is great. Or everything he's done is great.
Let's make it 2 and 5. 3?
Ew.
3 and 5.
Everything?
I don't think I've seen anything that I have not liked from him.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the movie with the lawnmower. That's a great movie.
The Disney film he made?
Yeah, the one where he drives a lawnmower.
The most like
the movie's awesome.
Like the weird dark horse of the David Lynch universe.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a great movie. He meets that little girl, and he puts all the sticks together, and he's like, "That's family." And I was like, "Yeah, it is."
I like the sitcom short film he made about people who are rabbits.
No,
That's my favorite one by him.
I think Eraserhead is an obnoxious film.
That's not a Eraserhead.
Or yeah, no, I know. I'm just
Okay.
saying. I'm just saying separately. I think Eraserhead is an obnoxious film. But anyway,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm gonna.
So it'll be an early morning for James seeing Star Wars.
I'll be there.
Yeah, my parents are coming.
Wow.
And Ryan's parents are coming.
What day are you going?
Saturday. Yeah, 6:25.
I don't wake up ever for anything.
Yeah.
Not
Here's
really.
the thing. Do you want to hang out with my kid for a night?
I'm so impressed.
He'll wake you up.
I'll wake my ass up for this. That's the thing. If I fall asleep during the Star Wars movie, there's a bigger problem. So you should just kick me out. Put me out of my
Like,
misery.
good luck trying to get a second ticket, James.
Oh, that was the other news. The fact that they said they're going to do a Star Wars film every single year now.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, but
I mean, I will say that because I'm not a big Star Wars
They're
fan.
not saying an episode movie. They're saying there will be a movie in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like that's going to wear thin pretty quickly. I feel.
Right. They don't care if they make $1 billion
That's
a
true,
year
and
for the
I'm
next
sad
couple of
about
years.
that.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, every
I mean, like,
show is sold out.
Now I know how everyone who does not like the Marvel films feels like.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
we go see 1 or 2 Marvel movies a year, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how many days like you're sold out? Because I know Thursday's already all gone completely, but
Well, I'm pretty sure all the nights for that first weekend are sold out. But I mean, you can still get tickets for like those really random, like between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. shows. I think some of the 3D ones aren't selling as fast, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
But there's only like 2 or 3 of those.
there's only a few. Yeah, just because we had to, like, we didn't have a choice. We had to
Yeah.
do a few 3D shows, but
Maybe
yeah, once the week gets going, I think it's a little bit easier.
I think on Christmas Eve you can get like seats at the 420. And
Well,
get decent seats.
we have shows on sale up until the 1st of January. So even if you don't go opening weekend, you can still there's plenty of seats available up until the end of the year.
No. Yep. But I'll be there at 6:25 in the morning.
And who knows? If it's really good, I'll just mosey on over to the next theater and see it in 3D.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's how I roll. I did that for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I don't think as many people were excited about Amazing Spider-Man 2, though.
That's a true story. I went and saw it in IMAX 3D at midnight on Thursday, and then I was back seeing it like at 11 the next day. So there was like a 6-hour break in between.
I saw the first Avengers film 3 times in 24 hours.
Wow.
That movie was great.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
That's like 7 hours.
That's my number 1 film from 2012.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Avengers, but that's like a good third of a full 24-hour day.
Yeah.
Like,
It was in that same theater too.
Yeah.
This was pre-Alamo. I was at the AMC a lot that day.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Because I saw it at midnight, and then I saw it the next day during the day, and then I saw it with my family that next evening until it was over around 11 or maybe even right after midnight.
yeah, I had to do it that day, too.
Yeah.
It was out of theaters the next day, so.
It was, yeah. Yeah, it didn't do very well.
Yeah.
In and out. So, anyway, that's whatever segment that was. What do we want to do next,
Cool.
Ryan?
This is coming out on Blu-ray.
Yep, it is.
Open it!
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, good.
Clark, it's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward. That it is indeed.
Just like every year, there's a Blu-ray re-release of Christmas Vacation out this week, so go get another copy, guys.
It's so true.
What version is it?
When I was at Best Buy yesterday,
it's like
they
the
literally
5th.
had a steel book, like the 20th anniversary, and another one right next to each other.
Yep. Because every year somebody remembers they don't own it.
Yeah.
And then every year, someone's just a little more disappointed that it isn't the original Vacation.
I really like Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation. Every year I watch it.
Do you?
Uh huh. I think
It's
so.
all right.
Yeah, it's almost like Sneakers good. First season of Fear the Walking Dead is out on Blu-ray this week.
Yeah.
Ryan, am I supposed to? It looks like from the cover, it looks like it's a show about basketball.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay.
And
White
someone
man can't
creepily
jump
looking
over
in the
zombies.
distance.
Yeah.
So the first episode, that's really good, and then you have to get through 4 episodes, or meh, and then the last episode is, no, it's all right.
Can I watch just the first and last episode?
Yeah.
All right, deal. Cooties is out on Blu-ray this week as well.
I had fun with that movie.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was the best of the
Kid
zombie
zombie
comedy movies that we saw this year. Goodnight Mommy is out this week, which is the horror film about some little kids who totally want to kill their super French mom or whatever she is. Did you guys see it?
Nope.
I saw it. It was great.
Sounds right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It looks real messed up.
The ending is one of those. It's pretty telegraphed. I mean, if you have seen a movie before,
They
you
kill
can
their mom?
guess the ending. I don't know. I won't give it away unless you guys
Okay.
want me to and want to do a spoiler or anything. But yeah, the ending's pretty like Oh, duh. But like through that, the torture sequences and the pacing and the kids and their interaction with the mom, their relationship was actually really fascinating.
Do I have to read subtitles?
You do.
Fuck.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan.
I remember that film was showing at the C, and there was another film at the same time showing at the Mayan called The Mommy, or I think it might have been at Cheese Otis. And, like, they are very different films, and I saw the wrong one. So, like, because I think The Mommy is, like, about, like, woman dealing with her daughter being gay. Like, which is...
I didn't even hear about that one.
It's a very... it was not what I was expecting.
Henry sees movies that I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I, like... read what movies are coming out every week, and he says, I saw this movie this week. What movie is that?
Yeah.
And when you put it in IMDb, it doesn't even come up. And you're like,
I'm that underground.
You
are. Season 1 of Zoo is out this week. Is it? It's got Billy Burke in it.
Yeah, my in-laws.
Oh man, I was gonna make a joke about zoophilia, but now it's got Billy Burke in it.
My in-laws watched that, and I have no idea what it's about.
Is it cool?
I don't know. Sure.
It's got Billy Burke in it, right?
Pretty cool till we bought a zoo.
Hey, I like when we bought a
Remember when Billy Burke is hacking wood in the Twilight movie for no reason?
And then that dude shows up and is like, I need to show you something. And he takes all his clothes off.
And then
that was cool.
And then Billy Burke literally looks at the camera and is like, what the fuck am I in? All right.
Steve, you're laughing like you don't know that this is a real scene in that movie.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the Twilight movie, Steve?
I've not.
No, you gotta see. You gotta see that last one. How many are there? 4?
Which one's the one
about
where
to be
back
5?
breaks in half? Do you guys remember?
Oh, that's at the end
when
of.
she's giving birth.
That's at the end of the second to last one.
I like that one.
It's
terrifying.
So the funny story about that is, so Brad was actually the first one of us to see it, but you went as a joke.
Yeah.
The New Moon, yeah.
Well, yeah, the New Moon. And then we're doing the
Moon is not the
podcast,
worst one.
and we're going, oh man, that's the only movie. We should like hate watch these. And then we have this thing where we expect every movie, we're going in to be good. So I went to Blockbuster when it was still around, and I rented the 2 previous? How many are there?
I think there's 4. So
we saw the
Twilight,
last 2 in
Twilight
theater,
Eclipse,
right?
and New Moon 2.
Okay, so we saw
Newer Moon.
None of that.
That's not right?
None of that was correct at all.
So how did Twilight?
It's Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and then 2 Breaking Dawns.
So there's 5.
There's 5.
Yeah,
There's about to be
5.
They split the last book into 2.
That's
even
right,
though the last
because
book could have been like this big.
I rented 3 of them before we saw the 4th one.
Yeah.
Because I said, I'm going to make this fair. And so I sat there and I watched it. I'm like, the first one, this is a piece of shit. And then the second one, I started getting a pain in my head. And by the third one, I had a headache and I thought I was getting sick. And then we left to go see the movie and the 4th one started. I'm like, oh, that's why I have a headache. It's because she can't live without a dude with sparkly skin who runs really fast through a forest with horrible CGI.
Well, don't worry, because they're rebooting them right now, filming it. Like,
is Billy Burke in them?
I don't. Maybe
is
I
Anna
know
Kendrick?
it's like,
if not, I do not care.
I know. Here's the twist. It's from Edward's perspective now. So
fuck.
I think it's called like Blood Orange or something like that. Like,
fuck.
Kendall, do you
forgot
like
that was a
Twilight?
thing. No,
Or do you hate watch them?
I like Twilight.
I used to live with my best friend who was obsessed with it, and when you live in a room this big, you have to. you gotta watch it.
You gotta do what you gotta do, huh?
You gotta hate it.
but they're filming that now, so expect that next year at some point, or maybe the next year after that.
I feel like I should watch them at some point, just because it's like part of like the generational canon. Unfortunately,
Oh, they're
like,
so
I think
bad.
I own one on accident. I stole it from somebody.
We'll watch that one and then we'll go to Blockbuster. Oh wait,
They don't exist.
oh no.
Is there a YouTube video with just the Billy Burke parts cut together?
I'm sure there is.
Because here's the thing, Steve. The reason I talk about Billy Burke is that he and Anna Kendrick play the regular people. So everybody else in the movie is insane in some way or another, and Billy Burke just like. So the scene we're talking about where he's chopping wood, and this boy shows up in the woods and takes his clothes off because he needs to show something to Billy Burke. Which
what does he show
is
him?
exactly what happens.
Yeah, that's.
What do you think?
He shows him how his body changes. So
not a boy anymore.
Every time that Billy Burke is in the movie, he gives this look like he does not have time for this bullshit. Because all the dumb stuff that happens, like by the 4th movie, he doesn't even care about his daughter. He's just like this.
She goes missing. She goes missing for like months.
Yeah,
and I think you
And I'm
forget.
pretty sure I might be the scene I add in my head, But I'm pretty sure Billy Burke looks at the camera at that point. Like
The
all right,
Office.
I guess so.
Oh.
That might be just a little snippet I added, but that's what he's conveying in his performance.
And everything Anna Kendrick says in the movie is like, in theaters, the audience would laugh at her lines because they're like, "Oh, Anna Kendrick's character just doesn't get it." But everything she says is like, "Why are these people so insane? Like, this is stupid. What is happening here?"
Anna Kendrick is
she's the voice of reason,
a perfect person,
Yeah.
and a perfect actor.
Yeah.
So that's my statement on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Queen of Blood.
Yep.
is coming out on Blu-ray this week.
Love the name.
Yeah.
Is it like a old horror film?
Yeah, it's an old horror film. I can't tell who it's from, but it's a giant floating head of a woman, like in space or something, and there's just like dudes flying out of where her face is.
See,
it's crazy.
I
looking.
bought Taste the Blood of Dracula for the name alone because that's a sweet title. I'm gonna get it.
Speaking of Dracula, Vincent Price's Twice Told Tales is out this week as well, which is a pretty good one. It's just a picture of Vincent Price, and he's all wide-eyed. He's like, but he's on a book, and a skeleton is reading.
There's
the
my boy.
book. And then, hey, buddy. Speaking of skeletons, Fort Massacre. The West unholsters its most savage story with Joel McCrea. Fort Massacre. On Blu-ray this week, so check it out.
Kellen. Hi.
Okay. I know, I have the cutest kid ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's Blu-rays. Right?
What else do we have to do?
I have a comic if you guys want.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Go ahead, Henry.
All right.
Hey man, read this.
I told you, I don't like horror comics.
Think of it more as a survival manual. There's a number on the back. And pray you never need to call us.
We're dedicated to a higher purpose. We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
Okay. You already had. Okay.
We do that in post. Don't worry.
You put that in.
Okay. Marvel just started Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos.
Ooh.
Or no, it's Shield's Howling Commandos.
Cool.
I think is what it's called. It just started. I think it's Nick Fury leading a bunch of old Hollywood monsters to like save the world. It's amazing.
Like the Universal monsters?
Yeah, it's like a mummy. It's Werewolf, who I think is the most useless like superhero they've ever had. Who's a werewolf that only happens like when Mars is in like the sky.
Did you say
which is like 2 months a year?
Did you say his name is Warwolf?
Warwolf.
Oh,
not werewolf. Warwolf.
That's awesome.
This is so cool.
You just sold me on that name alone. And I'm a big Marvel guy. I've never heard of Warwolf.
Yeah. It's like a mummy like from Egypt, like actually from Egypt is in it.
Sweet.
Frankenstein's there. They have I think 2 other like monster people in the team, and it's just them trying to save the world.
Cool.
It used to be like Lady Deadpool in the Howling Commandos, which were like these guys, and then that series ended, and now they're now all agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and now they're trying to save the world. It's amazing. Sweet. It's pretty fun.
Warwolf, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. next year on ABC.
But like those things like werewolf, because like he seems like the most useless like hero, because like he can only turn to a werewolf when like Mars is in the sky.
Okay.
Which there are like 3 months a year that is not happening. So we better hope that nothing happens those 3 months.
Everybody needs a vacation, man.
Yeah.
You know what I love when a writer is saying, "Hey, you can write a comic book." He's like, "I'm going to go into the depths of Marvel's characters, and I'm going to find somebody and put them in there." What is this Warwolf? That's awesome.
That's pretty good. Cool. Awesome.
I'm down.
We will have to check that out. Stats. We have stats left.
Cool.
Look at my shit. Look at my shit. I got my blue Kool-Aid.
Ooh, you got your Kool-Aid.
I got my fucking nunchucks. I got shurikens. I got different flavors. I got them size. Look at that shit. I got sides, I got blades. Look at my shit. This ain't nothing. I got rooms of this shit.
Kid's going crazy.
I know. So what comes out next week? Oh, Krampus.
Krampus.
So how well is Krampus going to do?
Is that the only film coming out next week?
I don't know. Kendall, you're shaking your head.
Steve the professional is saying yes.
It is coming out next week.
His professional opinion.
Professional opinion, it is coming out.
I'm excited. It's
I'm looking it up.
done by Mike Doherty, and he did...
Yeah, Chirac, The Letters, Life, Macbeth, and Youth.
Oh, yeah.
Chirac is only online,
but
right?
is Macbeth's got to be limited, right?
Sorry, what?
Is Macbeth limited?
Yeah, Macbeth has to be limited. I can't imagine it's going to be.
But it's Michael Fassbender, and there's this I have this still from the set where he's in this rain of blood. I'm like, that's awesome.
I'm very excited.
And the last Michael Fassbender movie also went wide too quickly and didn't do very well, so they'll probably keep it limited.
I don't agree with it going
quickly.
wide too quickly. I think that it was slated up at the wrong time.
Really?
Yeah, I think it should have either been earlier or later in the year. I think during the time it came out, it was up against too much of the same audience.
Sure.
And
I
think
see that,
even doing it later would have instead of Krampus and those other movies, Krampus against Steve Jobs. Obviously, Steve Jobs probably would
prevail,
not have much
or
of a
at
problem
least,
against Krampus.
So
I don't know. I'm saying Krampus is probably going to make $7 million. Yeah, it's just because there's too much right now. It's besides the Hunger Games, which will probably win again next week, and or maybe The Good Dinosaur will win next week.
Yeah,
it could.
But there's just, I think there's just too much going on, and I think actually Creed's going to have a lot of legs.
I think so too.
So yeah, it's just, I think the movie looks really cool, and I really like the writer and director of it, but it's
got a great cast.
Oh yeah, and the cast is really good.
It's Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. Is it too early?
I don't know if it's too early. I just think it's one of those movies I think is going to be good and it's going to be lost.
I mean, because you can't release it 2 weeks from now. You could only push it back 1 week.
Yeah, I think you put it out now and just see if you can counter program. Everything else, because it's really and it's PG-13, so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but it will draw people away. I guess if you're going for the teenage crowd.
The larger problem is really Star Wars because I mean, from my point of view, of someone who's trying to operate a theater, obviously you want as many screens as you can possibly have while respecting the other studios and the other films. So Alvin and the Chipmunks and then Sisters comes out the same day as Star Wars. So obviously they have to have screen space, but everything before knows that their lifespan is going to be very short.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the next releases, I think In the Heart of the Sea might come out the week after.
Yeah,
it's
so
again,
awesome,
that's going to have.
It's got 2 weeks.
A tough time really trying to gain any legs.
Because there's a lot of movies coming out the week before or 3 days beforehand. There's just Point Break, the Will Ferrell one.
Are you arguing that Point Break is gonna?
No, I'm just saying that
I think that's Christmas though. That's Christmas though, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Star Wars not Christmas anymore?
No, Star Wars
it's
is
the
the
18th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So everything before that, I think everyone was kind of a little nervous to get into that kind of spot because they know that they'd be their lifespan would be snipped a little short.
Right.
So
by Alvin and the Chipmunks.
The Road
Chip. When I got the news that they were switching from Christmas Day to the 18th, I seriously punched a hole through a wall. No! That means one less screen for Star Wars.
Does Road Chip need a 3D space too?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Have you ever read what David Cross said about those movies?
Oh yeah, no, I remember this.
Well, he makes a comment about in With Bob and David.
Yeah. Well, he's they paid me a lot of money and they're pieces of shit, so I don't care.
Oh man,
that's the 4th one though. Can you believe that?
I mean,
that's how much money those movies make.
I remember when the first one came out.
I can. My little
but here's the
brother
thing:
loses
when I went and saw The Good Dinosaur, I saw it this afternoon, and the theater was sold out, and it was about 85% kids because it was parents with all their kids.
Yeah,
they were laughing at that movie, so they know what they're doing, and the studios know that if the kids want to see it, mom and dad's going too. So there's 3 tickets.
It's I've never been more proud of my brother who's 6. We saw Peanuts movie and we saw the trailer for that beforehand, and I leaned in in the part where it's the green the previous video, and I leaned in and said do you want to go see that? And he goes, no.
Good for him.
Okay.
Good for him.
I've never been more proud of him.
Not specifically against Peanuts or anything, but just for a kid to have that kind of opinion, be instead of just be yeah, movie.
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of lukewarm.
Your brother's gonna become president of the United States. I'm so proud of you, but remember when you turned down seeing Road Chip? This is second.
Cool. All right, well, that's next week.
Yep.
Reviews?
Yeah. What movie do you want to do first?
Let's do The Good Dinosaur first.
Cool. James, should people go see The Good Dinosaur?
Yeah, it's good. It is not Inside Out, but it's better than most kids' movies. So yeah, I thought it was charming. So
Kendall, have you seen The Good Dinosaur yet?
No.
Steve, have you
saw
seen
it
The Good
without
Dinosaur?
me.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Dick.
I tried to give options, but I was like, listen, we're recording at Real Nerds tomorrow this time. So, yeah, I saw it this morning. I also kind of have the same kind of like feeling that you do, James. Just kind of
gorgeous.
Some of the shots in there, aside from like there being an animated dinosaur, I was like, that looks real. Yeah. Holy crap.
Aside from that living, talking dinosaur.
Yeah, that talking giant green dinosaur.
Probably not real.
Probably not real. I don't know. They do shrooms in it at one point, so you never know.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
Spoilers.
But yeah, no, oh my god, the animation is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely fantastic.
Brad.
What, are we skipping you?
Well, I'll go last.
All right. About 10 minutes in the movie, I was like, okay, this might not be Pixar's best effort, but at least they tried. And it looks phenomenal. But by the end, I was like, oh my god, you sons of bitches, tugging on people's heartstrings.
Yeah, and then the end is just so like it's just
it was abrupt. Like,
the door slams?
It's like I don't feel like that qualifies for the mark. Like that's your own journey, not the family's journey.
Hey,
fucking spoilers. That was vague. Move on.
That's not vague at all.
Henry, should people go see it?
I'm kind of like in the same vein as all of you guys. Like we talked yesterday about it. I'm gonna say no. You don't need to see it right. Like you don't need unless you're like you were already set on seeing it. You do not need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can wait till it comes out on like DVD or Blu-ray. So
yeah.
I love Pixar. Yeah, if they didn't have two movies this year,
I'm in the same thing. Yeah,
it'd be a really great movie. It's still a great movie. You should definitely see it.
If they just hadn't made Inside Out so damn good.
That's like comparing one piece of gold to another piece of gold. At the end, it's still gold. Here's a trailer for The Good Dinosaur.
Deep, man.
I know.
I think we went far enough today. Let's get you home.
Where am I? Are you little? We need to get home.
I got a job for you. Keep on the dodge and sidle up the law, but only pass them horn heads.
What?
That creature protected you. What is his name?
I don't know.
I name him, I keep him. Killer.
Stinky!
Violet.
Spike!
Lunatic!
Spot! Spot! Come here, Spot, come here! Well, ain't you just the cutest thing? I'm done being scared.
If you ain't scared, you ain't alive.
I miss my family. Huh? You don't understand.
Did any of you figure out what that film's about from the trailer you just heard? Because I know I didn't know what this one was about when I went in.
But that's the thing with Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Is their trailers don't let on to anything what the movie's about.
Yeah.
It's always like, look at how colorful this is.
They actually tend to mismarket them. So like before
I
Inside
agree.
Out, I was like, man, this seems risky. This might not be great. And then like before this movie, I was like, this seems like a lot of just an adventure movie. Like, what if this isn't very good? Is there no heart here?
Does anyone know? I didn't have enough time to like kind of look back and see, but does anyone know about what the issues were with like the production and like why it was?
I heard there were a
delayed and
ton,
everything?
but I didn't like look into it.
I think it comes down to like it usually does on story. Like
Yeah.
they
Well, there
watched
was-
it, they felt like it wasn't up to their standards, so they had to go back and.
It's got a lot of like loose ends in it that feel like they were part of a different movie.
Yeah.
Like characters will pop up and you're like, oh, they clearly were a bigger part, and now they're just like a funny little joke that dropped in.
Like the character that has all of the pets.
Yes.
Like that guy showed up, which was like the best part of the film.
Oh,
I
he's
love
so
his Dream Crusher. What's his?
It was protects me from like
Keeps
over
from setting unrealistic goals.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that was the best line in the entire
It is.
film.
It's the best line in the movie.
But like he's there for like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I felt like 'cause, like for me, like after like thinking about it for a little bit, it feels very much like a poor man's Finding Nemo. Like it's about these two unlikely people who have to stick together in order to get home. They meet a whole bunch of wacky characters along the way, and I was expecting like once they, because I was thinking about the entire thing, like even though you're gonna get home, the plot, like you set up in the beginning that like you're not gonna survive the winter because you needed both of you to get all the food. So you're gonna, and so I thought like at the end they'd get home and then the like Charles would be like, "We got all this food for you" or whatever. But then they get home at the end, so I'm like, so they're all dead now.
Yeah, they set up,
Like-
there's a lot of stories in there that feel
What?
like that's what the movie was, and then it's not. So like they have to resolve the struggle between those two characters, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
one of them blames the other one for this, right?
Yeah.
So first you're thinking like, oh, that's the big emotional ending is like forgiveness. And then like, well, that gets done at some point, and then
Yeah.
there's like, well, we got to get home, and that's the big thing.
Yeah.
But there's also this story about like, well, you don't have a family, so clearly you're going to become a part of my family, and you're going to be really good at picking corn, which is
Yeah.
going to save us from the winter.
Yeah.
And
doesn't
that
work
doesn't
out.
really happen either.
But then the whole problem with this is that they have all these things that are just kind of mired about because they set up this ticking time bomb of like, we have to get this done before the first snow, and it's like, oh shit, they have to get it done before the first snow. But then there's
First
that one
snow
part in the
comes.
movie that comes and it's like, oh, it's early, but then it's not really snowing that much anymore.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he gets to the end of the movie and then it's like, oh, we picked it all, we're good, there's no snow. The end.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
There were like no stakes. Like,
Yeah, there's zero stakes at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's so, like, I agree, but I still really liked it.
So when the
It
credits
just
came up,
feels like what you're leaning on is like, it feels like it had a troubled past, and it
right.
clearly did.
Well, when the credits came up, and I felt the same way about when I saw it the night before. It was like, what's the problem with this? And it says story by, and there's like 6 names. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the night before. It's like written by 5 screenwriters. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well there's the problem. It's because just too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I would say it's less cohesive than even Brave is. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more of a hero's journey. I don't think in so much as it's focusing on one thing. It's what does one person do to overcome their fear of whatever it is.
Oh, that's the one I forgot about.
And, that's what Arlo's doing is, you know, he's so afraid of everything. But what does he have to do to go out on his own? Yeah, he might have a little helper. But at the end of the day, he's the one who has to make the choices to save the little boy or stand up to the pterodactyls or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the movie is it's the hero's choice.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that ends up being like the main.
That's like the main thing, but like at the same time, I feel like it didn't hit hard enough for me.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
Yeah. I didn't cry.
No.
So
No, it's
damn, if you didn't cry,
I'm not saying I didn't cry this week. I'm just saying I didn't cry.
But I think it's a beautiful film. I really do, and I love the juxtaposition between how photorealistic it looks and how cartoony the dinosaur is.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically they modeled him after the Sinclair dinosaur. That's all I could think of.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
In fact, they have like footage of the Sinclair dinosaur in front of the Alamo, where they're like talking about it's like some amusement park for Sinclair from the 50s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, I got a message on my Wii U. Maybe someone else likes one of my Mario courses.
Wait, there's more people playing on a Wii U?
Yeah.
It was the third best-selling thing at Target. It broke records.
Have you seen it? I think the new Nintendo commercials are pretty awesome.
What's
They're like these kids are running home and there's a snowman of Bowser and Mario, and as they run by, you hear Mario go "Wahoo!" and he like throws a fireball and it blows up Bowser, and it says "Play Smash Brothers," and then there's Link's running around or Triforce. It's a really cool commercial. Anyways, but yeah, The Good Dinosaur is a great movie. I mean, when you sit there and tell me that a Pixar movie is good, I mean, if comparing it to any other...
Oh, yeah.
During that last scene, I was sitting there going, like, if this was like a DreamWorks movie,
They're constantly one of the best.
They're constantly screaming at you, like keeping the kids' attention, and like The Good Dinosaur is really quiet through most of the movie. I'm just like, that's the magic of Pixar. They're like so strong with their visuals, and even when their storytelling is like a little below par, like you're still captivated. It's amazing.
Because there's
par for them is higher than everybody else's.
I was sitting next to this family, and I was the creep. I had one ticket, and at the AMC over here, it's like recliner chairs, and you have to, anyways, I was there, and I was in between two families, and I was like, oh man, I feel like a creepazoid right now. I'm like the only 30-year-old who doesn't have a kid in this theater. Anyways, so the part where like the pterodactyls like beaks come out, and it's like Jaws. This girl like ran over and climbed on her mom, and she was terrified.
There's some scary stuff.
Yeah, there is, and it's well done. Yeah. It's well done. I thought the movie was really good.
There was a gnarly shot right in the beginning where Arlo and his dad, they set up the trap for whatever the critter is that's eating the corn. Yeah. And so then when they catch the kid and you see what it is, and he's like trying to get out of the trap, he starts like to choke himself because he's getting tied up in the trap, and then it cuts to a wide shot of Arlo looking at him. And so there's the shot of the tree, and the tree has the rope hanging down, and the kid is basically lying on the ground, like wheezing, almost like he's being hung. Mm-hmm. And then Arlo like hits the top of the rope to uncut it, almost like you're just watching someone being hung. And then he's just like for mercy cuts him. And I was like, that is one of the most gruesome images I've ever seen in a quote unquote like children's movie. Because again, it's like it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be super gnarly, but just like the fact that it was in a wide shot, really quiet. All you hear is like this kid, and it looks like he's being hung. Was like, holy crap!
Yeah, they don't shy away from it because kids are smart and can handle real stories.
And that kid ripped off the head of that. Nice, love it.
Or I mean, I think most disturbing for me is having the pterodactyls show up. Seem like they're really friendly. Seem like they're good guys.
The cult of pterodactyls.
And they bring out this adorable little raccoon thingy. Yeah. Sorry, Kendall. Spoilers.
I like raccoons.
And then they just straight eat that thing! And like the tail's hanging out of his mouth. And I was like, why? Yeah. What is a children's film?
Yeah, and I don't understand why they had all the like he was obviously like the cult leader, like the storm, and I've seen the eye of the storm provides. I don't really get why, but I liked it still. Yeah. It was like this like
the storm provides helpless animals that they can just eat.
Yeah.
Ooh. But like why do they add in the whole kind of like Mansonoid kind of stuff to
it? Just needed
because it's creepy.
Yeah. And because they like doing, then of course you get the pterodactyl or the Tyrannosauruses that are actually really nice.
That are like cowboys.
Yeah.
I love it. And Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott. As a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I love, man, his story is really good.
If
there was a moment where I was a little bit choked up, it would have actually been his story.
Well, his story when he gets bitten in the face by a crocodile.
And then Arlo says
and
he's like, how are you not afraid? And he's like, son, you're always afraid when you get bit on the face by an alligator. That was really good.
Yeah, and lines like, he drowned in his own blood.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like for a picture
his
film,
blood.
I drowned him in my blood.
Oh, boy.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to you about like when we got out of the theater.
Yeah.
It felt very much to me that like they're like Inside Out gets all of our originality and making it like the most like cool kind of film ever. Put all of the greatest animators we have into Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, right.
Like, don't have an A team, don't have a B team. Have two A teams that are working on two different things. Like,
the story A team is over here, and the visuals A team is over here.
Yeah,
we don't have B teams.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that's true. It's true.
Go pick.
It's hard not to recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I said, like I'm the only person that said no, you don't need to see it. But I still think this is like what like. Even though it's not on par with all of the other Pixar stuff, it's better than pretty much 75% of the stuff DreamWorks has made. So,
yeah, it doesn't necessarily demand that you see it in theaters, which is why, like today, when my mom texted me and was like, "Oh man, like Dad and I really want to go see a movie at the Alamo today. What can we go see?" I said, "You should go see Creed."
James, should people go see Creed?
I cried for about an hour of this movie. Shit happens at one point that I knew was going to happen because it's in the trailer and they do it so well that I was wrecked. I have always been a Rocky fan. I mean, I like the first one and I like Balboa, and this is definitely right up there with those two. It's a fantastic movie. It is one of the best movies of the year. Yes, people should go see Creed.
Did you see Creed, Kendall?
No, Steve saw without me.
Whoa,
dude! she's giving me shit all week. So. I gotta take this girl out to a movie at some point. Maybe tonight.
Kendall, I'm sorry.
You guys should go see Creed.
I'll definitely go see Creed again because hell yeah. Now again, you can probably make the argument that some of, if not some, like the greatest like boxing movies have been made with the original Rocky movies, with Raging Bull.
Yeah.
You know, those are like absolutely fantastic. So for Ryan Coogler to make this film and it be so effective and great. And again, it's not perfect. There's some stuff, but like again, for being so great and so emotionally moving and also like really engaging, it's a great addition to the Rocky anthology and just a great boxing sports movie in general.
It's because Rocky movies aren't about boxing; they're about life.
Exactly.
Henry, should people see Creed?
Fuck yes. That's all I gotta say.
Accurate response.
Nice. Brad?
I'm surprised. I think people actually like this more than me.
Wow.
Like I'm a Rocky fan, but if I wanted to watch it again, I'd probably just go watch it for that one scene where Stallone talks about stuff being behind him in the past.
Oh, this is really good.
So yeah, it was okay for me.
Yeah, I love this movie. Just there's moments in movies, and I know they're put in there on purpose, but when Rocky, even in the corner in the big fight, is awesome in the last round. But anyways, I won't spoil it till after you hear the trailer for Creed.
Yeah, go see this.
Not built for this. These boys coming here, they gotta fight for life. People die in the ring. Your daddy died in the ring. I don't know him. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I've been fighting my whole life. It's not a choice for me. Every punch I ever thrown's been on my own. Nobody showed me how to do this. I'm ready.
Sick eyes from the nose pressure. Actually slip zip ties on the protesters. The 6 wives in the fry of a mold weather. Automatic caviar bar out in Odessa. Dirty needles breaking all the old records. 100 hoes, one shovel and some old treasure. OC use teeth as a gold tester. Figaro's finger waves, closet full of old letters.
I heard about a third fight between you and Apollo behind closed doors. Is that true?
How do you know all this?
I'm his son.
And wear gloves for the reason why I gave ties. Scared thugs going crazy in the cage box. Looking at the world through the TV, a day room, rapping over beats. They made electric chairs for us down day. Last meals, no appeals for them to try and stay on death row like Suge in a late pot. Maybe he could dig a tunnel out of A block.
A great fighter once said, "It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward."
See this guy here? That's the toughest opponent you're ever going to have to face. I believe that's true in the ring, and I think that's true in life. Now show me something.
Yeah, this movie's so badass. I mean, basically, Stallone is taking on the role of Mickey.
Yeah.
But in a way that's really cool.
Yeah.
And
well, because here he's got a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like we have. There was a point near the end of this when near the end of the movie, when I was like, man, last year we had this movie Boyhood where they filmed it over 12 years and it was this cool thing that we got to see the life of this person. I was like, we have 7 movies filmed over the lifespan of Sylvester Stallone that tell the story of this character as he gets older. and that makes him so lovable.
Yeah, and I think too, and I know Brad doesn't like Oscars and stuff. He should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
They think he will now. So
Because
I'm really happy about that.
I think in this movie he wears the weight of being a boxer in every scene he does, and what's cool is I've never seen Stallone play such a vulnerable character.
Yes,
where
this is the best acting he's done in years.
You know, even the first scene where Adonis is hanging out inside his restaurant, and he comes up, he's like, "You lost, kid," and you can just see that he's beat up and he's tired, and he doesn't, he's not who he used to be, and
but like when he's essentially begging him not to become a boxer.
Yeah,
like,
it's just so powerful, and then because I love the Rocky movies, and for the character's arc to be, this underdog who rose to the top, and then he kind of fell down again, and then he rose back up, and then he fell down, and the ups and downs of his life, you can see it in the character that he's portraying in the film, and he does it so well. I can just point to this. I mean, there's little scenes besides his big speeches. The scene where he goes to the cemetery to talk to his wife and stuff is just so brilliant.
Yeah.
And even a scene as silly as it's 5:45 in the morning, and Donnie comes out and he's looking, and he's dancing like, "This is how I get ready in the morning," and he's doing horrible dance moves. It's just, it's amazing.
I love Rocky written by somebody not Sylvester Stallone. Because
and directed. Because he directed a bunch of them.
Yeah. Because Rocky Balboa is Stallone's love letter to Rocky as he's old. And it's about like how he's still in it and he can still do it, and like it's his big send off of that character, and he's got a lot of scenes where he gets to yell at people about how tough life is. And this ends up being a movie where, like you said, he's so vulnerable, and that's what killed me.
Yeah, because he's the quiet vulnerable. Because in Balboa, he's beating his chest, saying, "I'm still, who I am." And this one, he's like, "No, this is beat me down, and my wife is dead, and everybody I love is dead." And he does.
He gives up.
He gives up,
that's when I was broken.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point where, as soon as it's the first time you ever see him turn down a fight in any of the movies, and that idea and that emotion was so strong that the rest of the film, I was just fragile.
Everything I got is moved on, and I'm here. But you know what? It's okay. Because I said to myself, if I break, if I'm hurt, whatever, I ain't gonna fix it. Why bother?
And I'm just some bum that's living in your crib, just nothing.
You're a good kid and a good fighter. But you got your whole future ahead of you. Mine? Back there, like all them guys on that wall. In the back. In the past.
And one thing I want to make clear, if you have not seen it yet, this really isn't this film is not about Rocky.
Right.
One thing I was really happy about, because I thought it was going to be it's about Rocky training the son of Apollo Creed, where it's really about the son of Apollo Creed being trained by Rocky.
Yeah.
It's way more about his story than Rocky. Rocky just happens to be there.
Yeah.
And so,
which is great because his character is still really and really well formed and three-dimensional, and he has and some of the stuff with his girlfriend in the movie is a little bit they could have put a little more effort in there, but still it's he's a Michael B. Jordan is a great actor, and he has a great character, and the fact that it's not about Rocky isn't a detractor.
I mean, what I look like? Letting you train me while you sit around and die. Just like any other fight.
This fight, I've seen it before. It gets as bad as it can get. And most of the time, you don't win it.
But I don't care. I ain't training if you don't get the treatment. So if I fight, you fight.
Yeah.
The only scene I did not like in it was when Conlon was talking to his manager, and it was filmed like it was a James Bond villain, from the 60s. He's "You'll fight in this," and it's a huge fireplace and in an old stately manner.
Yeah, they're like at Downton Abbey having tea, being like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of that guy."
Yeah. Other than that was my only scene that kind of took me out of the movie. I was like, "Wow, this seems, we get it. He's a bad guy."
Yeah, they're super British.
Yeah, I get it.
And there's one too where he writes down the whole training routine for Donnie, and then he takes the picture of it, and he's like, "Yo, what if you lose that thing?" And he's like, "Oh no, it's already up in the cloud." And I go, "No, God, please don't, please don't, please don't." And he goes, and then of course Sylvester Stallone looks up and goes, "Dude, what cloud?" It's like, God, just because he's old.
That was funnier than any
no, but just because he's old, he doesn't need to make
with the same joke.
It's true.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, you also you said the exact same thing.
But I agree with you. I had a hard time with it at first, but like after a beat or two, I was like, well, you know, he's always been a simple man. I kind of can see, like, I can almost believe that Rocky'd be like,
he didn't have that robot servant at one point, though. So he should have been up on that.
Dude, I don't want to talk about Rocky IV.
You know, I also have to point out the way the movie was made. The first fight he has with the dude in Philadelphia, who's he? The lion.
Dude,
it doesn't have a cut.
That was so cool.
It's pretty badass.
It's cooler than the fight at the end.
Oh yeah,
like, I was way more impressed by that fight.
That's another problem is that the end fight is. I mean, it's obviously like what's happening all around it is climaxing in a nice way, but like because that first fight is filmed so stinking beautifully and it's done so well, the like kind of chopped up, you know, last fight is like a little bit, it's a little just too much.
Well, because the first fight feels like a dance, which is drastically different than any other Rocky film. Yeah. And then the last fight feels like a Rocky fight.
Yeah, I forget what Stallone says to him between the 11th and 12th round, but then it like really got me. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's like, you're fighting for you.
Well, because Rocky wants to call it.
Yeah.
Rocky's like, no, I'm going to throw it in. Like, I didn't do it for your dad. I'm going to throw this one in too. And he's like, no. He's like, we fight together. And that's what that whole speech is.
Or it's like one between like the 11th and 12th one. Is that the one where he goes like, I need to prove I wasn't a mistake?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that speech. Yeah. And that guy's pressing on his eye.
Yeah.
They didn't cut him. Why didn't they cut him? They should just
because they would have called the fight. That's why he's tapping on his back.
Yeah. I noticed that like the second time he did. I was like, oh, that's what they're like. So I mean, I still was like really into the last fight too.
Oh yeah,
like I was
That's to ride it anyway.
Yeah,
so like,
the
first
compared to the first one,
the first fight was just beautifully done.
Yeah.
But I still thought there was still definitely an intensity there in the last one.
Oh,
like I remember I saw the Alamo Friday night opening night, and it was like packed. I just in like the very front row, and I remember like 'cause they do that cut like when he first gets knocked out. It goes completely silent as he falls over, and you could hear everyone in the theater go, "Oh!"
in mine,
it's almost the same shot as Creed getting knocked out.
But in my theater, it was packed too, and it got really quiet when he got knocked out. And some dude's like, "That's some good acting."
Fuck off.
Yep, that happened.
You didn't go to an Alamo, did you?
I did not.
Nope.
Because you guys didn't start movies until the afternoon.
No one comes in the morning.
No. I would.
I would have been there.
That AMC was sold out, so.
Because that's where they're all at.
Oh. Because only the plebes wake up that early on a Saturday. Yeah. Oh, man.
So, Brad, what was... you weren't as excited about it. Why?
Like I said, like...
Boo!
The best part of it was like, it is supposed to be Creed's Adonis' story, but at the same time, like I didn't feel like that invested in his story because it's, you know, his big problem is that he comes from wealth and he's trying to like just create a different name for himself or try to stand out. Like that's not as compelling as Rocky being like a kneecapper in Philadelphia, like trying to make ends meet, trying to make his like he comes from like a lower status in life, and it doesn't have to, he has to fight harder to get up than Adonis. Like he's like Adonis is kind of already up there. He just has to, you know, fight harder to be in a higher standing. Is that makes sense?
But it's not about because yes, Adonis is raised in money, but he doesn't actually come from it, and he has this huge chip on his shoulder because he's actually like a juvenile delinquent who doesn't have parents, and
so in a way he kind of got rescued.
Abandoned.
Early.
He gets it's like if Annie grew up and was like, "Fuck all this money, I'm gonna fight." Like I agree.
I want to see that.
Speaking of which,
I'd see that Annie.
And he intentionally makes his status in life like more of a, he goes and tries to make it more of a problem so that he can. It's just I couldn't get as invested in it.
Yeah. That's because his biggest opponent is himself.
Yeah. Right. He has emotional problems that are more...
You like how I brought a Stallone speech back to it?
Yep. His emotional problems are more damning than him trying to get off of the streets the way that Rocky is in the first one. Or not off the streets, but like just to not be a dude living in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but it's a good
Born
movie.
And raised.
I just felt like, for a movie that's supposed to be about Adonis, I was more interested in what Rocky was doing still. So
sure, but
that's one speech when he admits, like when Adonis finally figures out that he has cancer, and he's talking about like almost in a meta way of like, even me, Sylvester Stallone, all of my best stuff is behind me, like the people on the wall. Like that was just like, yeah, give that guy an Oscar.
Oh yeah, and I would definitely say that if they make another Creed movie and Rocky is still the more interesting character. You know, like. I kind of liked this movie because they bury the lead with Rocky a little. Like the first few times you meet him, like he's not bubbly, fun Rocky, and so I'm like on the edge of my seat, just waiting for like, oh, I want him to say something funny and simple. You know, if I can change, you can change, we can change, and we're all changing. Like that's what I was looking for, and it just takes a while to get there. Adonis is like, you know, he's a fine character, but he's not. You don't love him the way you love Rocky.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, we've also had like 5 Rocky films to start to love him.
6.
Oh, 6.
And he's still compelling.
Yeah. Well, but it's cheating because 3 of those movies are dog shit. 4 probably. Yeah.
Have you watched them all? Like, is it like a marathon?
No, not all in a row. No, I've never watched them all in a row.
I'm telling you,
when I watch them all in a row, it's just like one consistently one movie.
Yeah, but like. It's more that his story is consistent, yes, but like the quality of the films are not as good. Having seen Rocky 4 last week, or this week, it was this week. Oh yeah, I watched Rocky 4 this week. That movie's one big montage. It's not great. People in the theater were super excited, and I was not sure why. But because they're laughing at the movie. That's what I realized. I was like, oh, you guys are all here to see it because, like, ironically, you like this movie. This movie to me is heartbreaking because I'm like, this is one of the greatest film characters ever. And the original has one of the greatest on-screen romances I've ever seen in a movie. And then, like, I'm supposed to be moved because Adrian shows up in Russia. And she's got on her snow boots because she can't stay away. Like, that's not... No, come on. It's not great.
I was really mad when it faded to black after the fight, and I was like, how have you not even mentioned the, like, up the stairs thing? And then it cuts directly to the stairs thing. That's the last thing. I was like, you better have had that in there. Like, you can't have a Rocky film without that.
They add more stairs. I love
it. They do it like, you know.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I thought was cheesy was the motorcycle thing is basically like Creed's version of the stairs.
Yeah.
But he had no relationship with the motorcycle people other than they were in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it felt a little hollow.
But he's a part of Philly now.
Well, no, they hang out at his gym.
But also, isn't there the scene? Is it the first Rocky movie where he's running and all the kids start chasing him?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was...
No, I think it's the second one.
Is it the second one? I thought that was kind of a reference to that, where it's like, instead of the kids in the neighborhood running after Rocky, the kids in the neighborhood are running after Donnie, and they all happen to, like, just because of, like, the culture that they're in and, like, the city and everything.
No,
like,
that's what they do.
Yeah, I don't think Rocky said, like, hey, you... Creed actually made some kind of motion, like, hey... Like, either I want to chase you or follow me or something.
He did do that.
But, well, I think there's a line quietly there where the guy on the bike asks him, like, are you going to see Rocky? So for me, I took that scene as that group of people knowing what that guy's doing and going to sort of, like, encourage Rocky.
I missed that.
It is a homage to great montages of people running and going to see Rocky and
going to see Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, the wonderful montage.
I think we're trying to put a lot of thought into it. Where
I think it is the most cheesy scene in the movie, easily. I love the movie so much that I want to find a reason why it's awesome.
Yeah, no, me too.
Well, like when I said, like I thought like the whole like motorcycle chasing them. I thought that was just going back to like when Rocky was driving the car he had to run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what?
Sure.
Okay.
Good job, Henry. You found it.
Okay.
The movie's perfect.
I solved the mystery. But yeah, I mean that's just how I interpret it. I didn't think of it as like super cheesy. It's just that like he's used to running with a vehicle, so we had like 7 people get vehicles.
I can't run unless there's a car chasing me.
I love that they gave Bianca talent too.
Yeah.
She was like a really kind of locally popular musician in her own right. Like she wasn't just like the girl or a girl. Like she was someone that like had a job and like had commitments and then she talked about the progressive hearing loss. Yeah. Like that kind of like added a whole kind of different crazy element.
Yeah.
To the point where like I don't know if I was just reading into it too much, but like the scene where they're like laying on the floor, like almost her just like feeling the vibrations, like knowing that eventually all she's going to be able to feel are the vibrations because she's not going to have her hearing. Did anyone else pick up on that? Or
I got that. Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, no, I really like that aspect of it, and I think if there was a little bit, I know the movie's long, but like even a little bit more time to just kind of tighten up their relationship a little bit, it would have been.
It did not feel long to me.
No,
Like, I know
it doesn't feel
it's
long
2.5
at all.
hours long,
Yeah. No, it
and I
feels-
thought like I could sit here for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I was weeping during the whole time. I was like,
Please don't stop! Ah!
yeah, no, I agree. And the scene at the door with the earpieces is really good.
Oh yeah,
when she shuts the door,
She shuts
and
the door and then
she
takes
takes
her
him out,
earpieces
yeah.
out.
yeah, and she takes him out. Ah, it's good.
The one thing I will applaud this one for is that like when it came to the final fight, like almost every boxing film I've seen in the past like 5 years or so, I know how the final fight's gonna end. It's like they're gonna lose, they're gonna learn from it, or they're gonna win and they're gonna learn from it. This film, I was like, it could go any way.
Yeah.
There isn't like the past Uthra films, like he's won some, he's lost some, he's tied some. Like, so I honestly did not know what was gonna happen for that
I mean,
one for.
it didn't go the way I thought it was.
Yeah, I was really hoping. I mean, you haven't seen it. Something mad.
Yeah, it doesn't go the way I think it will.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure in the next Creed he's going to fight robots and Hugh Jackman's going to be a trainer. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be called Real Creed.
I just started crying again. Cool.
Anything else we should say about Creed?
Go watch Creed.
When it started that theme song at the final bell, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
They were teasing it like throughout the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The montages are all really good.
They are.
Yeah. Even the cheesy one with the bikes.
Yep.
You don't really get montages anymore in films. Like,
No.
It's rare you get them though.
No, they use them all in the Rocky films.
Yeah. So.
You only get 6 in a lifetime. Use all 6 of them.
Next week, the Real Nerds are seeing Krampus.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. Thank you to all our guests.
Yeah,
As always, thank you to the
thanks,
Alamo
guys.
Draft House. Thank you to filmmakers everywhere.
you, yeah.
Make sure you check out the trailer for Braveheart. Major motion picture soon from the Real Nerds Productions.
For something.
For something.
Should we start promoting Film Explosion? It's like
Oh,
3
yeah.
to 4
Yeah,
weeks
we're
away.
going to do that.
Yeah, so Brad will come up with a sweet poster, I'm sure.
Yep.
I don't know what you're going to do this year.
Well, the hard part is like, I always try to make it like the most relevant movie based on the most relevant movie from the year.
Mhm.
But like Star Wars hasn't come out yet, so it's like I want to
Dude,
start
paint
now.
us like a Star Wars poster.
And we already did for 2005 Star Wars, so
You did Mad
Oh,
Max.
that's true. Yeah.
Mad Max was my first thing, but like then there's Force Awakens, so or Jurassic World.
Mad Max.
Yeah, or
Mad Max
Jurassic World.
Mad Max. The
But
Force
if we ever do
Awakens.
Film Explosion '93, it's going to be Jurassic Park. So
True.
Well, when are you planning on doing 93 anytime soon? Like, you've been
we're going through all the years. Eventually,
These are the things that go through Brad's mind.
Yeah, he's
the
got
creative
a lot of,
mind.
He's got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, start putting together your top 10 lists and be prepared to send them in and
we'll-
probably win some stuff. We'll probably give some stuff away. So,
Guessing January 3rd or something, I think, is the day.
Oh yeah, I got this out for a reason.
Yeah, we
Because
can.
that first week is like dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well,
Because
we'll
it's not till
probably
the
do
8th
Explosion.
where The Revenant comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us in Denver.
The 8th, so that means it'll be the first or second. Yeah.
Is the Alamo getting Hateful Eight? Like the actual like film version?
Fingers crossed, probably not.
All right.
Because Weinstein has already started installing 70mm in places,
Yeah.
and I just don't think we were picked
Qualified or whatever.
qualified or something,
Yeah.
or we just missed the boat. Maybe I don't know, but still kind of fingers crossed. Not really sure.
Well, there goes the
Are you
only
guys
hope
getting
I
it
had for
Christmas or
so.
not till January?
Again, I'm hoping for Christmas, but I mean,
It's whatever the
like,
Weinsteins decide.
pretty much. Yeah, they kind of run the universe right now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm hoping for best case scenario would be 70mm on Christmas, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's even a little too high of a dream for me. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Do they know who you are, man? Call them.
I know.
That's okay because I'll see it at the Alamo no matter how you guys project it because I really just care about seeing the movie and how he tells the story. I don't really give a shit about how it's projected.
Well, here's the thing. They're really selling the fact how it's projected.
Great.
So I'm very nervous that that's the only selling point they have in the film.
No.
I have not been blown away by the
No.
trailer so far.
Here's the thing. So 70mm is beautiful and great, and
Yes.
I think it's great that they're releasing it in 70
Oh, yeah.
because
I agree.
It's kind of a lost art, and like back in the day when 70mm was, you can't even really call it a big thing, but like when it was in its heyday, it was hailed as like a beautiful new addition to this art of cinema. And I think it's cool that he's releasing it in 70, but like the amount of complications and the fact that they're doing like a different cut, for the 70mm version, I think is a little bit bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, of course, once the Blu-ray comes out, there'll be both versions on there too. So, I don't know. I think it's weird. It's cool that it's happening, but I don't know how cool. It's hard to say.
I think that digital projection is a really great addition to the art of cinema, and it allows me to see movies without ever having them like tear or look like shit.
Mm-hmm. I think
I'm just trying to pick a fight now. I just want people to fight with me, not even you. I just mean like on the internet.
I think 70mm would be more fun to watch on those drive-ins that had like 3 screens side by side.
Yes.
Cinerama.
Yeah. I just mean like do it side by side, like. Project 70 wherever you can. I totally appreciate it.
I saw the first time I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey was on 70mm.
Really?
It was like a heralding experience for me. It was insane.
And I mean, I am a guy who would, if I found out that somewhere in Wyoming they were showing Lawrence of Arabia on film, and I could go see that in a real theater on film, I would probably drive all the way to Wyoming to do that because I think that would be a really cool experience. But I care more about the story than I do the way that it's made. So, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that, like, at a certain point, with time, when you look back, the whole release thing will be kind of a footnote.
Yeah.
If the movie's garbage, which it's not going to be. No. But if the movie's garbage, that's what people will remember.
Yeah.
So.
I watched True Romance on Blu-ray a lot. The movie's awesome. I love True Romance. I want to know what he's going to write. Because that's what actually lasts. How I remember those characters and how I remember the story and the lessons that he tells me, that is what actually matters. Not whether or not it's on 70. So, anyway.
Filmsplosion will probably be January 8th.
Great.
Sorry, Brad.
Isn't that when the Revenant is on?
Huh?
Isn't that when the Revenant is on?
Yeah, what's the week before?
I think it has to be the second.
I can't see the week before on here.
What?
It starts. I'm starting. Yeah, on January. I got the calendar.
Well, 8 minus 7 would be 1 or 2.
Well, it doesn't say if the Revenant is like ahead of it.
The Revenant's January 8th.
When do you guys get the Revenant?
January 8th.
Hey, all right. So the Revenant is January 8th.
It's the one that's not like in bold. Sorry, I see it now.
Okay.
It says expanding.
Yeah.
Didn't like 10 minutes ago.
The official releases are The Forest, The Masked Saint, and an untitled Blumhouse horror picture, and Anomalisa. So yeah, probably Filmsplosion. Right?
Are you guys getting Anomalisa?
Yes, don't know when.
I figured because it's in front of every movie I see.
It's such an amazing film.
You guys saw it?
Yeah, we saw it in Telluride. It's really, really incredible. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about it? You saw it.
It's great.
The rating says graphic nudity, but they're all puppets. So I'm curious.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets really uncomfortable for like a minute or so. But
so like Team America,
after
someone take a dump on someone's chest or
puppet penetration.
It's very human.
Oh wow!
For not having any humans in it.
Well, exactly. Like there's that one quote that's
for the listeners, Steve just shook his head affirmatively a lot at puppet penetration. So, all right. Well, that's good.
Do their faces come off because they're like separated, like at the eyes?
There is actually one part where it's a little bit because there's a few parts, of course, being a Charlie Kaufman film, it gets a little surreal. So there is one part where he's like, wipes the mirror and he's after he took a shower and he's having this like mental trauma and like there's a lot going on and it's almost like, when you're having a headache and you're like, oh, it's like my brain's being split open. It's almost like a physical manifestation of that where his face literally starts to split open and you see what's inside it and then someone like knocks on the door and it like closes back up and it like cuts and it's fucking amazing. It's such a great movie.
I'm very excited for it.
I think that is how they more quickly do the animation because I think that they've like if you watch the shots when he blinks and stuff like that, I think you can just change that forehead piece and get his eyes to change and get I think it's a way to make the puppets really easy to manipulate since they're not made out of clay.
I have a feeling that's probably a functional, accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Cool.
Charlie Kaufman's okay. See you next week.
Shut up.
Oh, bye.
Bye. Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. and also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.